Alright, you all are live. We're live. People can hear you. Don't make a mistake.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah. Everyone, all of China is... What's the line from Mulan? Now all of China knows you.
Yes, that's it. That's the line.
Okay, fine. We'll let you play. Stop fucking nagging us like every 2 minutes. Jesus Christ. I like this opening. I like this song a lot. Jesus Christ.
I just realized that Velvet's position might block the text for the
all three of us are
watching.
gonna block the text.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't, but you know.
Yes, you were. You absolutely were. Even when I shifted you over, like, you're still gonna cover part of the text box. Like, your old picture before you transmigrated into a horse for some reason. That also covered, like, a third of the text box, so. Because it's hard to, when it's in ADV form for visual novels, it's hard to not to put yourself at the bottom so people can read when you don't have like an actual overlay.
That's true.
Yeah.
We should work on that case.
Nah. I already did my work this week by rebuilding this entire setup with this fancy transitions and shit. AKA one transition I found on. Yeah. Yeah, you were there. You watched me. I did that and I put in, like, stuff on my Stream Deck.
He did all of this, like, 6 hours ago.
Yes.
Express lesson.
Yep. Alright. But yes. Hi. Umineko. Ninaku Koroni. Rondo of the Witch and Reason. Reasoning. Bleh.
Welcome to the Case Channel experience.
Yeah, we have no plans on what we're actually doing here.
All we know is that we finally have somebody to do the female voices.
At least some of them, because I don't want to just let her just sit there talking to herself for half an hour if it comes up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So we'll each have to take it. You and I will have to take at least one female voice.
But at least I can have you guys' work.
Yeah, so, have you played Umineko before, Velvet?
No. And like I said before, off stream, the closest I've ever gotten is seeing a few clips from the anime adaptation on YouTube, like in early 2010.
Awesome. I am made to do a setup by Malix. Hi, Malix. How's it going? So to catch you up to speed, have you ever read And Then There Were None?
No, unfortunately.
So, And Then There Were None was this Agatha Christie murder mystery thing. Yeah, it was Agatha Christie, right? Soundwave, I'm asking you.
What? Oh, yeah, that's Agatha Christie. Anyways, hi, Kaishido.
Kai!
Welcome to the stream.
How's it going? Right, should be case for Veil. There we go. Yeah. So, first off, hi guys, this is Kaishido. This is the artist in my little game dev circle we have. He's fantastic in a machine, and I don't know how he's able to put out that much art that fast. Actually insane. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. And because of his work and our lead programmers for the time, we got second place this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Vic, that's good.
Yeah. Out of, it was like 45, 48, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good job.
No, that's pretty impressive, yeah.
Yeah. That's the highest we've ever scored. But, right. So, and then it's basically following the same premise of And Then There Were None, which is a bunch of rich and wealthy people, in this case the Ushiromiya family, are getting together on an island to talk business and like family get together, or family conference as they say. And there's a typhoon coming in to trap them in. And I'm just going to straight up tell you now, people are going to die. And it becomes a murder mystery on how that works.
Both Higurashi and Umineko, that I know for sure.
Yeah. Because Ryushiki, who apparently is doing he's like the writer or something for one of the new Silent Hills. I don't know which one, but that's the thing. So that
makes sense.
Yeah. But that's gonna happen. So we just got to the island a minute ago, and I forgot what I was gonna say immediately after saying but
well, I can tell you what I'm gonna say, Case.
Oh, sound, by the way.
Sound.
Man, all of you sound this, sound that. Get a new playbook. It's like me stealing all the same jokes.
Then find a way to fix your shit, then.
I don't know. Blame Discord. It's not my fault.
You're the only person this happens to.
Seriously.
I don't fucking know. I don't know, might be just some weird interaction stuff with, my mixer that's probably causing issues, because it's a... Like, it's an actual
Maybe.
external mixer for doing stuff, but I don't want to unplug that and go back to built-in audio chips, so you're gonna suffer.
Alright.
Anyway. Right where we left... Shut up, Malix. Shut up. It was not all my fault. I am the most innocent among us. You cannot convict me of any crimes whatsoever. Don't go look at my clips. You can ignore all of those. Those are not... Don't use any video evidence of me committing crimes or being wrong against me. That's, that makes you a narc. But, we just arrived on the island and we're walking up to the mansion. Oh, also the head of the family, who's like the actually rich one who got everyone into the first place, he is like psychotically fanatic and believing in a witch that gave him his money.
Yep. I think this is you, dude.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just prepping my voice for trying to remember what he sounded like.
He had
A throat.
I mean, he's supposed to have a... Yeah, he has a throat in his voice. What was the... He's supposed to have, like, this kind of Kansai accent, which...
Which one was
in my
Kansai?
mind, the hick accent. He has a hick accent.
Oh, no, he fakes the hick accent when he's with
Yeah.
people and then he just goes back to being a city boy. Right, that was his thing.
When he's when he's with actual... So just... I don't know, like one of them fake southern accents.
Oh my! Hey! If it isn't Kanon-kun! It's been
That
so
was it.
long! How are you doing? Uncle Hideyoshi suddenly shouted. In the direction he was waving, there was a slender boy.
That's a boy.
That is a boy. That is a lad. Hydrate before you hydrate, y'all. We made
Oh,
tea
thank you
for a
to you.
reason, because our throats are gonna get shot after this again. Probably.
See, I made tea and I got water. I'm doubly prepared.
Meeting him after a huge man like Goda probably emphasized his small stature. Oh, he's not just a boy. He's a BOI, tiny small lad fella boy. Yeah. The boy was in the middle of transporting piled up gardening tools and the like in a wheelbarrow. When he realized he was being called to stop, he set down the wheelbarrow, took off his hat, and bowed his head. I don't remember who had who in this, so I know we just met him, so
Yeah, this is a new person.
yes. Dude,
Violet? you
Yeah,
wanna
I'm
take
realizing I should be adjusting some
Vi-
volume. Hold on.
not Violet.
it? Violet. Damn it. Velvet and Violet are the same. They're the same in my mind. Oh no.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! What?
Case,
No! Stop!
No.
Why?
No.
What?
Are we on auto or something? Oh my god.
What the fuck
Case,
just happened?
Just reload the save. Case, just reload the save.
Since it's
What
not
the fuck
much,
just happened?
yeah.
Did you press a button?
I was trying to switch my avatar back, and apparently the load screen is a gunshot.
That and get
Yeah.
auto scroll.
Yeah. Okay. That's
So that's something to know.
that's something to keep in mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
So,
we were right here.
All right.
want to try that again, Soundwave? Velvet, do you want to take this?
I'll try giving it a shot.
Mhm.
Good afternoon.
I figured he was probably younger than me. I realized by the general atmosphere surrounding him that he was a servant too. Though he did greet Uncle Hideyoshi back, he himself seemed like he might be unsociable. It was a greeting that lacked feeling. When Gora-san noticed our interest had shifted towards him, he went to the boy's side and introduced him to us.
Battler, I shall introduce you. He is one of the servants who serve the Ushiromiya head house. Canon-san, greet our guest.
I'm pleased to meet you. I am the servant, Canon.
Based on what I know of him, I admittedly know a little of him. I don't think he's a rider, because I don't think anyone's got a horse or a boat here besides the fishermen who brought us here. He seems weak at a pushover, so let's say an assassin. He'll die like in a day. That'll be easy.
Coincidentally, fuck, what's his name? You know, I totally forgot. Nasu. Nasu wrote a story called Canon once.
Really?
Yeah, it got turned into an anime and everything.
What?
It's spelled different, but yeah.
Really? Hold on.
Yeah. Sound.
Oh yeah, sound's starting to corrupt
Oh,
again.
for fuck's sake.
Every time.
I am not seeing Canon on his listed stuff. Is it
No,
Kori,
it's
is
in-
it
it's-
Kori no Hana?
It might be. It was in like the Type Moon stuff. Like it's very similar style. Like it's very much Takeuchi's style of like drawing too. So we can do this later.
No, I'm going to stop us right now in the middle of this for a very tiny joke, like bit of information no one cares about. Yeah. I am Kano. Yep, my first impression of him wasn't wrong. He gave the feeling that he was unsociable, or maybe a bit of a poor speaker. In contrast with Goro-san, who was extraordinarily polished as a servant, it was impossible not to feel the immaturity you'd expect of someone his age. When Goro-san urged him in a whisper to give a bit more of an introduction, the boy named Kanan only cast his eyes downward. Kanan,
No, it's got
gotcha.
it.
Yeah.
It's pronounced Canon, but oh yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, this is you!
Canon, could you perhaps give him a little more of a greeting?
I can't. Because we are furniture.
That's an unhealthy way to look at yourself.
Yep. So we'll probably be hearing about that all day on this island when we're talking about him and servants.
I can't wait for that to be a plot point.
What? Furniture? A plot point? Nah. Where would that come up?
House with Canon-kun.
Where could that possibly come to relevance? It seemed that he wasn't refusing to greet us out of spite, but rather, he gave the impression that he didn't know what else to add to his greeting, and so could do nothing other than stay silent. They want to sit on him!
Oh. Canon-kun's a man of few words. He may not be that sociable, but deep down, he's a really good person, so don't get him wrong. You've been working here for 3 years, was it? So yeah, you've been here a year longer than Goda-san, right, Canon-kun?
Even though it's not like he made a super bad impression, really, Jessica hurriedly backed him up. Oh, right. All the, like, members of the Ushiromiya family have exceptionally westernized names.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's Battler, who has an exceptionally stupid name.
His name is literally Fight Man. Fight Man Battler. But yeah. I see. Apparently him being unsociable works against him all the time.
Cool, nice to meet you. I'm Battler. I'm 18. How old are you?
A silence, as if evaluating whether it was a question that must be answered or not. But here again, Jessica plowed ahead.
If I remember correctly, he's 2 years younger than us, so 16, right? Yes, that is correct.
It looked like, if given a choice, he would have preferred not to tell us his age. And not wanting to tell us his age was probably because he thought he would be looked down upon for it. I remember when I was around his age. I hated being asked how old I was by adults.
You are around his age.
I see. 16, huh? That's gotta be a delicate time. In that case, I asked something I really shouldn't have.
I'm glad you're about our age. Just be cool and call me Battler, and I'll call you Canon.
Thank you very much. But the sentiment is sufficient, Battler-sama.
Jessica looked flustered for some reason. She seemed to think that my impression of Canon was worsening because of his rejection. Well, I doubt a girl like Jessica understands his fretful male heart. As his elder, even by just 2 years, who would lead him into adolescence, I took it upon myself to understand that.
This game was based in literally a different time, while also being made in literally a different time.
It's based in the 80s while being written in like 2006.
This is 2000. Okay. Canon, could you perhaps be a little more courteous? A smiling face is also the duty of a servant.
Scratch that, it was released in 2007 at Comic-Con as like the first chapter.
Holy shit. It's a 16-year-old game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I apologize. I shall make an effort. Goda-san,
It seems as though he was often warned about his discourtesy. And apparently, he hadn't improved a bit. Goda-san kept his business...
In sync with that one.
Don't you just love Discord?
I hate this shit.
About it.
Okay, there. And let me get my...
So I'm going to call it now. Me and Ed are going to voice basically all of the servants in the house.
Okay.
I already voiced the old butler.
Yeah. Right. Robotic
we needed
voices
female
too?
voices.
Yeah. Godo-san kept his business-like smile, but let a small sigh of resignation escape.
Well then, I still have work to do. If you'll excuse me.
Robotic voice. Oh, is this not a more common glitch than just happening to me, Kai? Because apparently it only happens to me in our circle of friends.
So whenever Case streams on Discord, within the first every few minutes, the entire audio just starts breaking.
The other thing
Robotic voice.
Yeah, the other thing I haven't done to fix it is try working without my mixer, but I can't exactly do that because my mic is hooked up to that, and I don't have a USB mic anymore.
Is there a way to route it around the fixer so it's not doing that, or
my mixer is processing all of my audio?
Huh? But I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah. It looked like Kanon himself was uncomfortable with remaining silent here any longer. After another perfunctory bow, he turned on his heels and started pushing the wheelbarrow again. Just then, suddenly, the wheelbarrow wobbled and fell, scattering the load. He dropped the load!
He dropped a load on the ground?
He dropped
Scandalous.
You think scandalous, I'm just thinking that old SpongeBob clip. We're going down! We've got to drop the load!
They're bombs. They were made in a bomb factory.
I guess the wheelbarrow with its single wheel caught on a pebble and lost its balance.
Oh shit, give me it. What have you done? Now, quickly clean it up.
Koda-san urged him along in a low voice, as if to remind him that it's a servant's shame to present a clumsy appearance in front of the guests. Showing that he understood quite well without being told, Kanon-kun wordlessly reloaded the barrel with the fallen objects.
Now listen here, you little bitch. You drop those fucking tools again, I will fucking use them to kill you.
Go ahead. I got no fear of God.
I don't fear God.
I've looked God in the face and was unimpressed. Kanon's got that like 6-year-old mindset of like, I am not afraid of anything. You can't scare me. He seemed...
I firmly believe that children aren't people until they're about 7 years old.
I firmly believe that children aren't people. Soundwave 2023. I'm absolutely gonna tweet that out.
Yeah. Another one for the out of context clips.
No, I mean, technically speaking, your personality doesn't set in until you're about 7 years old. So, you really aren't a person until you're 7. You're just like a sponge taking in everything around you.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have absolutely tweeted that out now.
Of course.
Humans, and they should be treated as humans. I'm just saying, they aren't really people yet.
He seemed to be fine with the light-looking gardening tools, shovels and such. But he looked like he was having trouble getting his arms around and lifting up a sack of fertilizer.
Oh god, there's shit everywhere.
Come on, lift, you sack of shit.
Lift with your back. You know, because it's the 80s.
Are you alright? You're so careless. Here.
Milady. I'm sorry.
Hold on. I gotta get you. I gotta find a little hat and give it to you to tip. Go on. Go on.
Milady. You will dirty your garments. Please, leave it to him.
Just leave it all to me. With an elegant gesture, Goda-san took the shovel that Jessica had picked up. At his back was a figure of Kanon-kun having trouble with the sacks of shit. You're going to have to say the ooze. That's actually kind of important.
I know. I'm just trying to differentiate it from what I initially picked for Jessica.
Yeah.
So if you want a little bit of help, Jessica is a little more sporty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I can give you like a reference to like what they were going with. Versus.
Okay. So I could probably take a more normal tone with Jessica and then more cutesy with
Yeah.
Maria.
Yeah, sound.
Yeah, but I will have to emphasize you do have to do the ooze. That's actually, as much as it's like very anime, that's actually important.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you dirty your garments. Oh wait, I just realized I said that as question, not exclamation. Ugh.
It's fine. It's fine. We're just having fun here.
Yeah. But still, trying to.
I've got your picture. I'm coming with you to come in.
You're up, Soundwave.
That's his. Oh shit! Don't.
Nice going.
Sorry, I was pulling up the lyrics so I could do the meme. Don't worry, the ones I'm wearing aren't that elegant. Besides, I hate guys who make the waitress pick up the fork they dropped at the restaurant.
I lifted up the other bags that had fallen. Of course they weren't light, but for me, it was a piece of cake. Because I do steroids!
I do steroids.
That's actually a thing. That's not a joke.
He juices.
At the very least, he juiced in the past.
Once again, this is the 80s.
Kanon-kun turned his surprised eyes towards me. It was the face of someone who never would have expected to receive help from a guest.
But, Bachelor-sama, that's not necessary. I'll take care of everything, so...
Don't you worry. I may not look it, but I've got it where it counts. Also, your arms are like the size of twigs, and I'm massive. Not where it counts, but I'm massive. You'll find out later tonight. No? No? Okay.
No.
I took the joke too far.
Remember, he thinks he's furniture. That sounds,
This, Battler's 18. I say that like it means anything.
It's the 80s.
There's no internet.
Yeah. Kanon-kun looked like he hadn't yet gone through his growth spurt and was stuck with a still sort of weak body. I guess this kind of weight is a bit much for him. It's quite heavy, isn't it? It's natural that you would be difficult for you, Kanon-kun. Don't worry about it.
Okay, my time to shine. This makes up for the boat part from before, right?
As if your auntie earlier could be written off just like that. I'll tell you all about it later, Kanon-kun. Battler is a laugh and a half. Gonna fall, gonna fall. Ooh.
These bitches.
I'll kill them one day. Banter made the job seem quick, and before I knew it, all the stuff had been piled up back into the wheelbarrow.
For letting you see such unsightliness, I beg your forgiveness.
Very well, enough now. Please go.
Yes, I'll leave you and your Peter Griffin ass chin. Letting such a disgraceful thing be seen by guests who were supposed to be made welcome must have been hideously embarrassing as a servant. Pressed by Godo to hurry up and exit, Kanon-kun left.
Oh, you're too harsh on him, Goda-san. Wouldn't it have been better if you'd helped him instead of being a bully?
You're quite correct. I deeply, deeply implore your forgiveness.
Without even a twitch in his smile, Godo-san apologized elegantly. Kanon-kun has things he's good at too. It's just that being young works against him all the time. It's a crying shame. Where the fuck did this accent come from?
Ace, you're literally from the South. This shouldn't be hard for you.
Yes, but he's not doing a real Southern accent. That's the problem. He's a faker. He's a fucking Nashville woo girl.
You know what? I do actually know what that is. Shockingly. Shockingly.
You actually know what that is.
I believe this was you, Case.
I think, but why do you know what that is?
Case, I have been on the internet since I was the age of 12. You just kind of pick these things up. Also,
see, when you say it
my
like that, I
uncle-
expect you to know more porn than anything else.
My uncle also went to college in Tennessee. So you'll learn things.
It's a prickly age. You be nice to him. Keeping a tight lip is just what you want in a servant. Right, Kumasawa-san?
I'm sorry. You really are harsh. There was no servant as silent as I, of course.
Everyone smiled wryly at that shameless lie. Even she didn't believe that, not even in her wildest dream. She said all that to loosen us up. Yeah, that's the kind of character who Kumasawa Bachan used to be. The mood that had stiffened a little was cleared up in a twinkling, thanks to Kumasawa-san's cheerful smile.
Sound. Without fail. Anyways. I'd like to put down my luggage soon. Goda-san, how are we split up for our rooms?
It shall be the same as last year. I shall guide you. Please, this way.
We headed towards the trim and elegant guest house. This was going to be our temporary quarters for a night. Kanan watched over a hedge as the guests all entered the guest house. Then, he let his eyes fall on those heavy sacks of fertilizer piled up in the wheelbarrow. In his mind, he kept going over his previous mistake. Battler. Big and strong. Oh, Battler. Battler.
Like I said, you'll find out later tonight.
It's gonna be tragic when he's the first one to die because of all you said. Battler, big and strong, had picked up the sacks in front of him, the sacks he couldn't lift himself, as if they were feathers. It was extremely difficult for an outside observer to guess what emotions that favor had stirred up in Kanan. But as far as you could tell just by watching him hang his head from behind, there was something he just couldn't let go. Muttered words escaped his lips. For those words he murmured were so soft they didn't even reach his own ears.
Even I.
Oh, a bit too fast, but Kanan hung his head, slightly biting his lower lips.
Lips?
Yes, he has two down there, didn't you notice?
So he was a woman.
No, that's not what we're saying.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I remember the Rose Garden, but I don't remember this guest house at all. Was it, like, built recently?
Torayan, Visitor's Retreat, was written on a gatepost-like thing, but since everyone called it the guest house, I just followed their lead. The brand new Western-style guest house that stood overlooking the Rose Garden had a magnificently designed, carefully done in harmony with the garden. Yours today for only $259 a month, a night. Fuck, hotels are by night.
And if you look over here, that's the murder room. We murder our guests here.
Correct. It was built just the year before last. Since then, we've been having them let us sleep over here.
Yeah, because people seem to like this place more than that junky old mansion we've had forever. I wish my room was over here. I want one too. I want one too.
A room or a house, Maria? Those are very different things.
We're rich enough. We can afford the real estate.
I lived with peasants for the last, 6 years.
That's your problem.
That's also a thing that happened.
Yeah. His, Kyrie, the white-haired woman you saw, that's Battler's stepmom. His
real mom's dead.
Yep, and Rudolph was his dad, so... full family tree thing here is a...
Oh yeah, I
Also,
noticed.
I'd like you to take a look at Kyrie's shirt. Just a moment.
Well, first off, that's like
It
a
has holes.
that's a shirt and a dress at the same thing. With, the folded over, neck thing.
It just looks stupid. It looks good on her, but in a real practical sense, for real life people, that looks so stupid. I can imagine people trying to cosplay that. It would be so cold.
Oh no, are you kidding? It'd be so hot, especially in humid climates.
Oh
There's so
yeah,
many
you'd wear
layers.
that. You'd get such a stupid tan right there as well.
All of them have, funky... Everyone has, funky designs and shit going on. Like, the guys have the simplest shit, which just wear a suit with a bird on it, but...
Except for the fact that George is wearing a lime green suit.
A lime green over, like, a beige, like, vest.
A lime green over, like, another green vest.
That's more beige than green, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a little bit of... It's like, I don't want to say puke green, but it's definitely a green.
It's definitely something. Yeah. I guess you could call my house upper class as well, but I was reminded again how completely ordinary it was compared to the head house. It showed a shocking display of wealth that they would build this kind of awesome guest house for guests who would only come over like once a year.
Eva-sama, Hideyoshi-sama, please do make use of this room. Rudolph-sama, Kirie-sama, please make use of this room here. It's fun to pretend things are happening.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes. I do appreciate how pretty and elegant this place is. The Western style truly is wonderful.
I can handle Western style for a few days, but anything longer than that and you really need the good old Japanese style. Japanese people just relax best on tatami mats. They've been fighting over making our new house in Japanese style or Western style. Mother still holds a grudge about father having started the construction as Japanese style, and they bicker about it all the time.
Just have one room with tatami mats. Like, that's not hard.
Your parents get along well, George Nissan? I'm curious. Or I'm jealous as hell.
Sound.
Well, suffer.
Apparently. Where was I? Your parents get along so well, George Nissan?
I'm-
I'm jealous as hell. Mine are so frosty, and yet they're right with each other. Yeah, they're right with each other when it comes to my grades.
Yeah, we haven't met her parents yet, so...
No, we have not.
All the rooms seem to be a two-person. I was grateful because now I wasn't going to be forced to share the same room with that old bastard for some bullshit reason, like being family. We're all family here. It doesn't help. Besides...
Hey, does anyone else hear Leonard Skinner?
Yeah, sorry, just every weekend it seems that a local restaurant or something has a live band, and it's very easily heard.
Velvet, that was a joke. Leonard Skinner wrote Sweet Home Alabama.
I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid.
No, it's fine.
No, it's funny. If she actually
because I was
started...
like, why was my portrait bouncing? And I figured, oh, that must be it.
No.
No, that's just the
Sorry,
delay.
I should have clarified.
Yeah. Besides, I figured those two wouldn't have been able to enjoy themselves with someone like me around.
What's that creepy smile about? You're thinking about something dirty, aren't you?
Something dirty? Of course not. Please, enjoy your stay. Fuck. That hurts, you old bastard.
Once again, Dad pulled my ears from behind. Got the crap. I'm getting a stomachache and I'm not in the mood for this. You're the guest of honor this time around. You play as nice as possible with Dad and Aniki and the rest. At the very least, pay attention to what you say in front of Dad. Got it? Because wisecracks go over like a lead balloon with him. Jessica-chan, what's the mood of our family had been lately?
Same as last year, I guess. Considering they keep saying he's got 3 months left, he's as lively, grumpy, and irritable as ever. Meaning, he's in his usual bad mood again this year. And the only one who's able to take care of him is Genji-san? It seems that Oh god. Sorry, just rapid fire and I'm so inexperienced.
Yeah, I can take over Rosa if that helps. Or one of them.
Yeah.
And we can
You
make...
probably take over Chio. I'm absolute. I personally think I'm shit at
I'll-
voices.
You'll be the old
I'll
woman.
reprise my role. It seems the master has only opened his heart to Genji-san lately. Oh wait, lately us small people can't even get an audience.
Oh, right, sorry. He's shut himself up in his study again and probably is doing nothing but that weird black magic of his. What he does for a hobby is his own damn business, but when he starts thinking up the place, it really gets on my nerves. He can just stay in that study and never come out again for all I care.
You shouldn't talk like that about the elderly. We're all indebted to him since he rebuilt the Ushiromiya family, and a little gratitude wouldn't hurt.
Well, sorry.
Hey,
Hey,
Ryu,
Ryu.
how's it going? We haven't gotten to the death yet, or the witches, so I'm sure we'll get there eventually. How much further do we have in this? That is a long scroll bar,
It is quite the scroll bar.
and it barely moves. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna be here for a bit.
You think?
Just a little. We've got to get invested in the, like, inner machinations, see where, like, a dozen different people have alibis and, like, reasons and why done it's to do it before suddenly, bam, I don't know,
Yeah.
fucking witches or something.
Yeah, set up foreshadowing and all that.
Woo! Back from the underworld to see, yes, I am in fact alive. As I know, as shocking as that sounds. After being rebuked by George Aniki, Jessica had no choice but to take back her thoughtless remark. How has your day been, Ryu? The Ushiromiya family was wealthy beyond belief, but that, of course, meant that all its members were eccentric people, completely at odds with the rest of society. The head of the family, standing at its peak, in other words, our grandfather, seemed to be a particularly eccentric and terrifying person. Even for our family. Dad had said he was getting a stomachache earlier, but I guess that was what all the adults who came here today were actually feeling. I'm back, I make fire, I'm still a jobless one. Oh, that's I hope you're able to, like, find something you like to do soon enough. That you're able to, like, maintain a good, maintain, like, food and shelter and shit in the meantime.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
No doubt they were jealous of us, the grandchildren, just playing and laughing without a care.
Sound.
Suffer. From the stories Dad told me, the head of the family was a violent man who rained blows on his sons with his own fists, and even beat his daughters mercilessly with a wooden sword.
Man, that's fucked up.
If he was such a staunch traditionalist with his kids, why wasn't he the same with their names? Because of that, even his grandkids have to suffer. Well, I have absolutely no trouble believing them that the terrifying image they paint of him. I don't have many memories of meeting him over the years, but I remember his face was full of menacing thunderclouds, always making the people around him shrink away with a sharp look. I remember that the room's atmosphere got so tense whenever he was around, you couldn't even breathe. What my dad said right now about me being the guest of honor carries little more oomph for me.
6 years ago, I was in grade school, but I'm a high schooler now. There's no getting away from it. If I don't show him respect, things will probably get serious. Scary.
I'm clicking you, come on. He does look frightening, but he's not completely terrifying. He's definitely never unfair. Sure, George. He's just not a pretty talker, that's all.
But George Nissan, you've been the family darling since, like, forever. Because of your awesome grades, right? Grandfather treats us completely different. Like me, I've gotten slapped with a wooden sword on my ass. My ass! On my maidenly naked ass!
Back up. What?
Yeah, no. Imagine my face as I'm reading this.
She got spanked with a kenpo. She got
Fucking. I know this is the 80s, but holy shit.
Yeah, no, Kinzo is not a nice guy.
I do believe it was mentioned a couple lines ago.
Yeah, he beat his kids. He beat his grandkids. We literally ruined my throat when I had to start out his opening lines of dialogue.
That was your fault.
That was actually the delivery the original voices went. So it absolutely was not.
So my tea bag broke inside of the thing I put it in. So I've been sucking down like bits of like the actual tea.
Yeah. When we get to the next scene change, I'm gonna run to go make a new cup of tea, so. Well, you're the heiress of the head house, Jessica-chan. Grandfather's giving you special attention. You have to realize the strictness shows how much he's expecting of you.
Oh, come on. Seriously, I could just turn the succession over to you, George Nissan. But it's a bit of a heavy burden for me to carry.
I think I already said it before, but Jessica's the daughter who will inherit the head house. The pressure on her shoulders must be different from us cousins of the branch families.
Jessica on heavy. If I hold it, will it get lighter?
Those are looking pretty heavy, ma'am.
Thanks. It's not gonna get pushed on you, Maria. I'm gonna bear that cross until my grave. Don't worry.
Okay, write down that red flag. Alright. Do we got a record of the red flags going on? We've got, Jessica, we've got... There were more, I'm blanking on them now, god damn it.
Maria has a red flag for being a cryptic kid.
No, but see, in that sense, they're generally the ones who survive in the horror films until the very end.
Yeah.
So she's not gonna die. Yet.
Rudolph's gonna die. Like, it's just, that's almost guaranteed.
Oh?
Yeah.
Sleazeballs tend not to survive horror movies.
Oh, hell no, they get their just desserts every time.
Oh, Joseph, you want to see a
time.
sleazeball where you've not met them. Yeah, it's this game, Ryu. It's that kind of game. While grateful for Maria's innocent consideration, it seemed Jessica could not easily rid herself of the anxiety for the future that remained visible on her face. I guess I'm no different. Any high schooler with exams looming overhead is bound to have anxiety for the future that they can't hide.
Maria, come here. You'll be in this room with Mom.
Battle-kun? Apparently you were with me in this room here.
Why is there 3 beds? Oh, this is a surprise. It's bigger than our parents' rooms. Wow. Why is there 3 beds?
I figured us cousins are probably going to be together in one place anyway, so I went and told them to make it a biggish room. I like here best too. Here's better than being together with Mama.
Fucking... Here. Watch this instead, there's no sound, probably. Now the sound can't break on you.
That? How am I supposed to read that?
Skill issue.
Move your head. All of our heads. I wanted to hear the music. It was just more of...
There you go.
Oh, okay. You just switched the... Okay.
Is that
All right,
that working now?
Yeah. Okay, you like it here better too? Maria, fuck. I mean... it wasn't finished loading. Okay, you like it here better too, Maria. Alright, this room is George's and mine. Well, we'll give you special permission to come in. Keep it a secret from your mom, alright?
Secret.
Her mother, Auntie Rosa, was right behind her. But Maria still answered, striking the air with her fist held tight. After our parents put the luggage in the rooms, they gathered again in the corridor. So, brats, what are you gonna do? Are you cousins just gonna stay here and chat? It seemed they were heading into the mansion to announce their arrival. Normally, we would have had to follow them and greet everyone together. But if that had been the case, Dad would have just said, "You guys, come too," and been done with it. He's telling us that it's alright if we don't come, so what'll we do? It's gonna be lunchtime soon anyway. Better let the kids unwind here. Besides, if worse comes to worse, this might be the last chance they get to play outdoors. Shut up.
I'll go too. Maria, you house sit for Mama, okay? You behave yourself and wait here. God damn it, I bumped the mic.
Now that Maria has been told to house sit, we couldn't just leave her behind. George and Nikki realized that immediately and gave a clear reply for all of us. Well, we'll accept your offer and house sit. We have lots of stories to tell each other after a year.
That would be best. Butler-kun has 6 years worth to tell after all.
Yeah. I'll take care of the house like the good little boy. Fucking, let me redo that.
There's your line. Go.
Yeah, I'll take care of the house like a good little boy. There we go.
Kumasawa-san, I'm gonna stay here too. We'll leave the rest to the adults and and us kids will break rank.
Oh shit, this is me.
Yeah, this is you.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be the best. Oh, I'll report to the madam.
You're clipping a bit when you do that.
Oh, I got too close to the mic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then, everyone, I will be guiding you to the mansion. Please, this way.
The other kids aside, George is an adult now. Wouldn't it be better if he came with us?
If we make him come, poor George will be the only one left out. Interacting with his cousins is also important. Well then, see you guys. The adults left one after the other. Like the time he had guided us from the harbor, Godo-san went ahead, with Kumasawa-san at the rear. As we gathered in the cousin's room assigned to us, George and Nikki asked us to excuse him for a second. He rushed over to Kumasawa-san, who was following behind the disappearing adults, and seemed to be asking her something. He soon finished his business and came back.
1 second.
Yeah, I think we're almost at like a pause where we can run to grab drinks and stuff. Yeah.
What's up, Aniki?
Nothing. I just wanted to ask something.
Ask me too. Ask me too. Could it be that George Nissan asked Kumasawa-san and doesn't ask me? Oh, sorry. I just realized I misread it. What could it be that George Nissan asks Kumasawa-san and doesn't ask me? I wonder. No, sorry. I don't have a clue.
No. You misunderstand. I'm not sure what you're misunderstanding, but
Who's after that old lady snatch?
No. Shut up! No!
Oh my God.
Bastard. No. Attention
It was
or
too
much.
easy.
And he was getting pretty tongue-tied. It's like he has something to hide. And Jessica has the dirt on him. Whatever it is, it's something only Jessica knows and I don't know, so it's no fun at all.
Hey, Maria. It's not fair that we're the only ones that out of the loop. Is
Clipping
it now?
again.
Oh. Hey, Maria. It's not fair that we're the only ones out of the loop. Is it now? We want to hear what they're talking about too, don't we?
Better and me want to know too. Better and me want to know too.
This is both of you. This is both of you.
This is where it becomes hard because we're live streaming. We're also in very different places.
Yeah, so innate lag and all.
We didn't do any like 1, 2, 3 like
We are not
sync
prepped in the
things.
slightest.
Oh hell no.
We probably should have done some syncing, so we could have done something like
Nah,
this.
nah,
We
it's
should
funnier
start,
this way.
Like, do some stream prep. Oh well.
Alright, let's try this again on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
You have no life in that Soundwave. I thought Unicron was infecting my brain. What? It's for you? What?
Wow, 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 wow.
Hold on, I want to hear that.
It's gonna be terrible.
I want to know what that.
Oh, you meant with the actual game audio. Never mind.
See, the fun thing is we can't hear it either, so...
Oh, is it broke again?
No, there's just been no sound the entire time.
What? You saying anything?
Because I thought it was intentional.
No! Is that coming through?
Yeah, it's coming through.
I should have thought you intentionally turned the sound off for us.
No! No, I didn't. Yeah, that's fine. That's a kazoo. Fuck, I don't have a kazoo in. Fuck, I don't have a kazoo in here. I've got. I don't know if my stylophone or Tematone is plugged in. Damn.
Oh my god. You're not pulling out the Omato.
I'm a mouthpiece, so it's...
Hold on,
not
I'm actually
easy.
gonna check. What's that?
God.
Most I got is that duck call I can do with my hand.
I've got it. I've got the stylophone.
He's gonna...
No.
He's gonna stylophone on us.
Your mics had a distortion effect and it sounded like y'all were metal screeching to the old guy.
Like I said, I figured it would sound terrible if we tried doing it at the same time.
Man, I need to put this away. I've not touched the xylophone in like a year. Alright, we are oohing to the nightmare of everyone. I fooled around while oohing together with Maria. No, I'm telling you, it's no big deal.
Liar. You suck at lying. Now confess. Maria, you tickle his right side. I'll tickle his left.
Ooh, me on the right side, better on left. Ooh.
Wait a second. What are you doing? Stop. George rolled around on the bed with an effort to get away, and Maria and I played around chasing him. There's something in the back of my mind telling me I'm a high schooler now and not a damn kitten. But despite that, I miss this kind of fun. A warm kind of fun.
What George Nissan was asking Kumasawa-san. See. Well, you know how it is. It's been a year since he last came to the head house. Apparently he's really dying to say hi to any servants that might have joined or quit in the meantime. See?
Oh?
Mm.
Oh.
Say hi? I'll say hi too.
Oh.
Rubbing hands together? What the hell? That's not anything to feel guilty about, Aniki. That's not it, is it? Maria, don't be fooled. Aniki's still hiding something. Resume interrogation. Ah.
Seriously? We're chat. You two, stop it already.
They're probably busy with cleaning or lunch arrangements. It's alright, we'll go and greet them properly afterwards. Basically, you wanted Shannon out there to greet you, not that Gora-san getting in the way, right?
Shannon? Shannon. Ah! I remember that girl. She's still a servant now? How is she?
Alright. We're at a break. This is the parents now. I'm grabbing a drink, so I'm gonna quickly start an ad break while we do that.
Okay.
You all go grab stuff too. Alright. We'll be back in a minute, guys. Just refreshing. Enjoy the ads, I guess. Because otherwise Twitch will run it automatically.
God, I imagine my mouth noises are very, like, prominent. Then again, it doesn't help I'm wearing a headset. And I'm realizing I'm the only one still at the computer desk, am I? That's probably gonna catch up once the ad break's over. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know how these things work. I haven't streamed in literally forever.
Oh god, the ad break ended before we got back.
Yeah. Crazy how that works. And of course I could have... And now we're just waiting for Case to come back.
Yep.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back. The ad break ended before you got back.
Okay, good timing-ish. Then. Okay. My tea's steeping, so I'll be there. Got the honey, got the... Okay. By the way, Natsuhine-san. How's your headache been lately? It seemed to be pretty serious for a time.
Oh god.
We can take... One of us can take over her. This is gonna be... There's gonna be a few...
Yeah, again, my limited range can only go so far.
Yeah.
You wanna take a shot then? Or we can?
No, one of you guys can take her.
Alright, Case, that's all you.
I have been much better lately. Thank you for your concern.
Oh, right here? Oh, right here. A present for you, Natsuhine-san.
Thank you once again. I'm always receiving gifts from you. Is this black tea?
It's herb tea with peppermint and lemon balm.
Ooh, that
It's a
sounds
blend
amazing.
from a famous store, and it's supposed to be good for headaches. I thought it might help you too.
Rosa was always a conscientious woman. Probably because she was the youngest of the four, and by quite some distance. She probably managed to grow up without harboring the venomosity of her siblings. Consideration made Natsuhi soften her expression for just a moment. But it wasn't enough to do the many years of anxiety that had curdled her expression into one of bland indifference.
Oh yes, you were always saying that you get those headaches. Pull yourself together. Jessica-chan will have her exams this year, won't she? Isn't that a turning point in her life? How can she count on her mother like that? Besides, Natsuhine-san, you're 3 years younger than me. Can't you pull yourself together?
You're getting into the smugness you're sure this woman has exuding from her.
I mean, she has a fan and a pretty long dress. It kind of
I'm
speaks
pretty
for
sure
itself.
I would not be surprised if she had the Ojo laugh. I apologize. I was born with this discomfort. Ava sometimes fails to choose her words carefully, but even though she hit it with a smile, her comments aimed at Natsuhi contained shards of obvious malice. Of course, that didn't escape Natsuhi. She frantically contains her urge to grimace and pretended to ignore Ava.
Our battler-kun will have his exams too, this year too, right? Rudolph-san, shouldn't you be a little concerned too? For the sake of your own son, get serious to the point of having headaches like Natsuhi-ne-san.
If I say anything, he automatically goes against it. So what should I say? Maybe the opposite. That it's okay for him to mess around? That's probably the only thing he'd obediently listen to. In your family, Hideyoshi Nisan, didn't George do really well on his exams? Please, teach me the secret to controlling children. Well, it's probably because I convinced him why he should study. Study isn't worth anything on its own. That's right, the real point of studying is to train yourself in the art of researching what you don't know. If you can't do that, you can't be useful to society. I'm not talking about math or writing. You need to learn how to learn. That's splendid. It would be nice if our Jessica could understand that, though. I don't mean this too seriously, but as an heiress of the Ushiromiya family, she's...
Do you really have to force her into becoming the successor? Women have to find their own happiness. Parents shouldn't be deciding that for their children, right?
Hold your horses, Eva. Each family has its own way to raise their children. You shouldn't be pushy.
I'm sorry. Natsuhine-san, don't take it the wrong way.
Though the light shining through the windows was quite warm despite the cloudy weather, there was a dark mood around the room, which probably caused headaches for other people besides Natsuhi. As if to brush away that mood, Kirie made a suggestion to all present.
Still, this black tea has a really lovely aroma. Let's drink it at once. I believe that in Japan you can't buy something like Leopold's black tea anywhere but Ginza, right? Kirine-san, how knowledgeable of you. It was really worth buying.
Kirie and Rosa stood up from their seats and made as if to prepare the black tea. Natsuhi forestalled them. Thank you both. Let's just save that for later. One of our people will be coming soon to bring tea. So please, relax. Leave it for later, you two. Let them treat us to a welcome drink, at least. Rudolph gave a subtle signal with his eyes for them to sit down again. Kirie and Rosa understood instantly and obediently returned to their seats. The guests had already been greeted, so now it was time for some tea to be prepared for them. That tea was relate, and having the guests talk about making some themselves was an embarrassment for the host. Natsuhi bit her lower lip, frustrated with the ineptitude of the servants who were taking too long to bring the tea. Seeing her face, Ava, without hesitation, started to giggle. Of course, Shannon had no way of knowing what was taking place in the parlor. As she came in pushing a dish cart piled with teacups, Natsuhi gave her a pained look for no apparent reason, and Shannon couldn't help but flinch without knowing what she had done wrong.
Excuse me, I shall prepare some tea for you.
Oh, Shannon-chan, it's been a while. You keep getting prettier every time I see you.
Oh, thanks.
Leave the chatting for after you've set the table. The tea will get cold.
I apologize, madam.
She apologized like a small frightened animal and, bumping against the serving cart, made a jarring racket as she dropped several teaspoons. Her clumsiness made Natsuhi's expression even harsher, which made Shannon quail in turn even more.
It's alright, Natsuhine-san. What does a single greeting matter? We've already been made to wait for so long. The tea must be quite cold anyways. It's alright. It's not cold yet, so...
Shannon, finish setting the table quickly.
I'm sorry, madam.
It was obvious that Natsuhi was getting irritated. The ineptitude that delayed the tea, the clumsiness of the servant, everything pointed to the incompetence of Natsuhi's everyday guidance, making her lose face. As the person in charge of matters in the Urushiromiya head house, allowing that clumsiness to be exposed today, of all days, was surely nothing less than total humiliation. Lay off, Natsuhi-ne-san. Don't you think it's a little harsh to bully Shannon-chan while she's clearly trying her best? I'm not bullying anyone.
Oh, what a nice smell. May I ask you the brand of this tea? I'm terribly sorry. I'll find out for you later.
Kiria had tried to be nice to her, wanting to cut through the tense mood. However, instead, Shannon had shown a disgraceful display, darkening Natsuhi's face and the room's mood. By this point, Ava's giggles were loud enough to be heard by everyone in the room.
What's this? Shannon-chan, don't you even know what you're pouring us? Come now, mustn't you serve something so suspicious to guess? We'll need a silver spoon at the very least before we can drink this. I'm sorry. I'll go get one immediately. Shannon-chan, do you know what silver spoons are used for? Or why they have to be silver?
So, quick thing. Do you all know? Before we get to it.
I do.
Yes, I have an idea.
This is like a big history thing that I do know.
Go for it.
Can I go off?
Go off.
Go for it.
Silver as a metal is actually very good at detecting poison. It turns black when you introduce poison and acid to it. It's actually a really good way to tell if sulfuric acid's in the area and whether or not you should go lower than your chest height. Because when sulfuric acid occurs naturally in the world, it creates this I forget what the actual gas is called, but it's a very heavy gas, and when you breathe it in, you just die, just immediately.
I'm trying to. Because I remember learning it from Dr. Stone, so
That's where I learned
I was
from
gonna
Dr.
say
Stone.
thank you, Dr. Stone, but I wasn't sure
yeah.
if you actually learned it on your own.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Stone and Japan Sinks 2020.
Oh, right. Japan Sinks would have that mentioned too.
Yep.
True enough.
Yeah.
No,
Ava's eyes played over Shannon, who was setting the table, as a catty smile floated onto her face. Take it on its own, the expression on Ava's face might have been charming, in an impish sort of way. However, the words being spun from her lips held within them the keenness of a razor. Shannon tried with all her might to avoid Ava's gaze, which continued to focus on her. Grasping that Shannon was hard-pressed for an answer, Rosa promptly gave some timely help.
they say that silver dims if it is touched by poison. You learned something, right, Shannon-chan?
The tea was being treated as undrinkable unless it could be first tested for poison. In Natsuhi's eyes, this was an insult to both the tea and herself for serving it. Rudolph, laughing flippantly, patted Ava's shoulder. You don't need any silver cutlery. With just one lick of your poisonous tongue, even a silver plate would go pitch black. I get to hear that poison tongue every day, so I must be poison-proof now. That's your wife, man.
That's the point.
He gets to feel that poison tongue, too.
Ava, I don't mind you doing it to me, but you've got to tone it down a smidgen for the poor souls without resistance.
My, how cruel. I only gave Shannon a bit of information about tea, didn't I?
Fucking rich asshole.
They're all rich assholes. Like, they're actual, like, probably billionaires in Japan. So...
That's... in Japan. Yeah.
Okay, one sec. My t-shirt looks like it's done speaking quickly. Yeah. How are you liking it so far while I'm making this and we need to filter air?
I like it. It's just, it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice if the last member of the parent squad would show up, because I haven't said anything in a while.
Oh, don't worry. He'll be here soon enough if I remember the order of events in this episode right.
I get to play a dick.
Absolutely. Also, he gets to play a dick in this game, and not just real life.
No. See, in real life, I'm an asshole. Huge difference.
Okay, that's all done. Let's get back. Everyone followed the lead set by Hideyoshi's horse laugh and smiled, though sourly. There remained a single exception to this in Natsuhi, but even so, for the time being, the conversation inside the parlor could now be mistaken for lively and friendly chat. As Shannon finally finished setting the table and made to leave, Kirie apologized to her in a low voice for not being able to help. Shannon gave a lightly bow and made a hasty retreat. Shannon cast her eyes downwards, pushing the cart down the corridor. The pitiful air around her made it obvious that she had borne the brunt of some bullying.
Right. Don't be sad. You didn't do anything wrong, Ne-san. You were watching? That's my duty.
Yeah, that's my duty. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Madam and Ava-sama can go to hell, but the even worse coward is that guy.
Kanon glared hatefully in the opposite direction of the parlor. The preparations for tea had been delayed a bit by a little bit of trouble in the kitchen. The trouble had not been Shannon's fault at all. The truth is, it had been Goda's mistake. In the first place, there was no way a show-off like Goda would ever hand over a flamboyant job like carting tea to the guests. He needed to make the tea all over again, which had made him late. So realizing that he wouldn't be earning any brownie points, he had pushed the task of setting the table on Shannon, who happened to be passing by. One could truthfully call it being shrewd, and one could unquestionably be calling it cowardice.
It's alright, Kanon-kun. Thank you. I really don't mind.
Kanon's silence vividly showed that Shannon's words weren't coming from her heart.
Thank you. Even if you're the only one who understands, I still feel a little bit better, I think. You bottle things up too much, Ne-san. You should be less hard...
Oh, fuck.
Log here. You bottle things up too much, Ne-san. You should be less hard on yourself for once. Yeah, thanks.
Suddenly, they both felt someone's presence and whirled around. An elderly man stood there. It was Genji, the head servant. Soundwave.
What are you doing here? That's not the voice I gave
That
him.
is in no way the voice you gave him. That is more Goda, not Genji.
Yeah. What are you doing here?
I don't think that was his voice either.
I can't fucking remember. I didn't watch that part of the stream.
It was literally the first start of the stream.
Yeah, that was last week and the beginning of the last stream we did. Yes, 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 yes.
Try
What are you doing
deep
here?
serious, like he
What
is.
are you doing here?
Yeah.
Shannon, hurry back to the kitchen.
Yes, if you'll excuse me.
Shannon humbly obeyed and promptly made to push the cart and leave. However, Cannon appealed to Genji in silence, bearing something in his eyes that he could not express in words.
What is it? Did something happen?
Shannon didn't do anything wrong. But those... Stop it, Kanon-kun. If you'll excuse me. I'll return to work immediately. Kanon-kun, you too. Go back to your posts. Please. If you say so, Ne-san.
If there's nothing else, then go.
Well,
Yes.
That's you.
Oh, right, sorry.
yeah.
Stop focusing for a second and just
Well,
blank. Anyways, yes, if you'll excuse me.
from the shadows in the hallway, an old woman wearing an apron watched over them. It was Kumasawa.
How heartrending, Shannon-san. Kanon-san. There's no reason for those two to be picked on, but it cannot be denied that they are disliked by Goda-san. Before Goda-san was taken in by the Ushiromiya head house, I heard he worked for a fabulous hotel somewhere. I don't think the manner of work he learned there was quite something.
You do.
I do think the manner of work he... yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that Goda-san is the newest servant here. He must take a lot of pride accumulated in his previous posts. Because Shannon-san and Kanon-kun are his seniors here at the mansion, and yet are inexperienced and have gone through much less in life than he has, he picks on them every chance he gets. And also, it's terrible they are hated by Madame Natsuhi too. Of course, in terms of experience, Madame has been in the family much longer. However, I must feel sympathy for Madame as well in this case. The master is truly a cruel person. Why could he not have realized that his trifling whim would pass such an inferiority complex on to Madame? Naturally, deep inside, even Madame fully acknowledges there's no reason to treat those two so harshly. If I have to say Madame another fucking time,
Well,
that's gonna lose all meaning in my mind. However, the heart has reasons that reason knows not. Ah, how heartrending. I cannot do anything but watch over them from the shadows.
I see that Kumasawa-san thinks in Genji's voice. Internal monologue. Okay, scene break.
Oh yes. My
Time skip.
thinking
It is
voice.
now noon.
Oh, my thinking voice. Oh, kids, how are you doing?
Now we must go. Maria-chan, internal monologue. Ooh. Let us go learn the
Ooh,
power
what's
of the
this?
witches. Oh, whoa, what's this?
I mean, it's like how Battler's internal monologue is Case, but I'm Battler.
See, I was gonna comment that on that earlier, but I just decided not to.
It's just how things divvied up. And like
it
when we
was
first
to
started.
save. It was trying to save our voices, and then we ended up having to voice everyone. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but eventually, like, we'll have to get actually more people in here just to not die as the episodes go on and the cast grows.
I mean, hell,
Yeah.
we could probably have TiVo help out with the guy voices at least.
Yeah.
Oh my god, is Chivo available?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a while now. Think of it.
He's your friend.
He's on Do Not Disturb, so I won't nag him, but...
I mean, you're on Do Not Disturb too.
The four of us cousins were shooting the breeze over all kinds of topics. After all, there are both girls and guys here, plus we've got a wide spread of ages: adult, high school, and elementary school.
Oh, yes, girls and guys.
Goyles? Goyles? The Goyles?
Oh, hey, girls. What's up?
I am a boy to be Goyle in a boy to be world. Life
I
in
am a boy
plastic.
Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys.
It's fantastic. Yeah. Each of us had to do was talk about ourselves, and it would be of great interest to the other three.
I think I'm finally getting used to all this. I mean, Jessica and Maria, you've both grown more than I could have imagined over the past 6 years. So, to be honest, I was feeling a bit uncomfortable, but talking like this, I guess though on the inside, nothing's really changed since back then. Other than, Maria was 3.
Right back at you. Even after 6 years, you haven't changed a bit. Although your body's gotten gigantic, you're still a kid inside.
I take steroids.
I'm a kid too.
Well, you aren't going to be a kid forever, are you, Maria? I mean, you're going to grow from being a kid to a cute young lady, aren't you? And when that happens, that flat as a board chest will be on Jessica's level, you know. What? I'm not saying that.
Battler, what the fuck?
Battler, what the fuck? No, Maria, no, Maria. You can't make that kind of promise. It's bad.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad I never read that.
I promise. No. Don't keep your promises.
Not reading this. Kishi. Forbidden. Oh my god.
God damn it, Ryukishi. Why?
Maria, you're a really earnest, good girl. The guy you're gonna marry is gonna be really lucky.
No. Just don't try to smooth over the topic with the promise intact. Maria, that promise never happened. Never. Promise canceled.
I realize now, it really did feel like a proper gathering of cousins without Battler and his group for us to go what the fuck at.
It's the Battler, what the fuck?
Like, seriously.
Yeah, it's wild, man. I understand it's anime, but
there's a line.
Yeah.
And we keep hopping over the line.
Seriously.
This man should not be left alone with, like, women.
Anyone of the female gender.
he is an actual criminal, and he is the protagonist.
To be fair, they're all actual criminals at some point in this story.
Are they?
I mean, they're rich.
Okay, yes, but we haven't seen anyone get murdered just yet, so we can't try them in a court of law yet.
Anyways, your line, Case.
Yeah, I know. These 6 years have been kind of lonely.
That's true. We weren't able to goof off like this. Still, we did have some pretty constructive conversations, don't you think? Stuff about preparing for our future, exam taking, or finding jobs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Now that I'm here, that's just stupid babbling.
But I'm having fun this year.
That's true. I agree. This year's the most fun. Maria's sincere words probably spoke for everyone. When Georgianiki struck Maria's head, she giggled like a happy kitten.
Nothing wrong ever happens to Ishiramiya's.
Nothing wrong ever happens to
Pardon me, your meal is prepared.
A timid knocking sound and an equally timid young woman's voice came through the door. Jessica answered brightly.
Shan, come in. You remember Battler, don't ya?
Jessica stood up from the bed and opened the door. There stood a servant girl who was definitely about our age.
It's been quite some time since we last met, Battler-sama. It's nice to see you after 6 years. I'm Shannon.
Noting my presence and trembling slightly, she bowed deeply.
Wow. Jessica had me surprised, but Shannon, you shocked me just as much.
This one's still criminal, but this one's fine compared to the other two.
You know, because he's not related. You've turned into a total beauty too, haven't you?
Your words are too good for me.
Seriously, the food on this island must be really nutritional, no? What are you eating? What are you eating? What are you trading to get... I'm not saying that.
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
No.
Again, should not be left alone with anyone of the female gender.
Battler does a crime. For the sake of my honor and justice, I'd like to point out that I don't suffer from a strange disease that makes my lymph nodes itch when I scratch my neck open, which can only be if I rub your breast. It's just my Battler wave. He is outing himself as like, no, I am not a disease. I am not insane. This is just me. This is not helping you.
He really just said, I'm just a creep.
When a boy closes in on girls like this, 9 times out of
10 out of 10 times.
they get slapped or clobbered, right? Aiming for a gag like that to break the... This is not a gag, this is a crime.
This is literal sexual harassment.
Yeah, this is criminal intent. She
Battler.
works for you, dude.
She works for you. This, 1 in 10... Yeah, I've never asked for that much, though. Oh god, we've got the close-up! No! But my hands less
Jessica,
than centimeters.
please.
Jessica, I need
She
you to
understood what
punch
was
her in
going
the
on, and
head.
she was blushing and had her head lowered in embarrassment. But she was just standing there. I wasn't planning on this. Please
I
hit
wasn't
me right
planning
now. At this rate, I'm seriously.
Just move your hand away, you fucking pervert. There we go.
Thank
Which
you.
is why I was glad that Jessica chose that time to drive her elbow into the back of my head. Ow. Jessica, thank you.
Why the hell are you thanking me?
No, my bad. Chin on chin. Look, I got a little too absorbed in your hypnotic chest. No more to the point. No, more to the point, when someone gets that close, they've clearly got criminal intentions. Seriously, you've got to resist.
But you are an exalted guest, Battler-sama.
That does not matter. Now, look here. A crime's a crime whether I'm a guest or not. 10 centimeters around a girl's chest is like an air defense identification range. If someone trespasses within 2 centimeters, they've already got an invasion of airspace and you launch a slap to their face on a high alert.
I couldn't do such a thing. We are, that is, furniture, and...
Of course, she didn't want a breast touch, but if a guest desired, she had intended to sacrifice her own needs in an effort to accommodate. No, Shannon.
No!
Don't.
It's a fucking guest for not...
Even if you're furniture can still say no. A girl like this needs some urgent protection. What the fuck?
If we're gonna consider servants furniture, might as well consider it under Beauty and the Beast rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
In these days, to think that there's such a dedicated and virtuous girl like this, it makes my head spin, but no.
No.
Wait. If I come at you with a perverted face, you smack me down. No pervert. Gotta complete the joke or it doesn't work. Please, it's a polite request. Smack me. Battler, you can't out yourself like this, man.
Battler, no.
Your M side is showing.
Battler, stop. At this rate, a woman's gonna use you as a footrest before the end's over.
Like this. Smack, and sound.
This is yeah, anime. Yay, I hate this.
I I cannot complete with polite requests, or comply with polite requests, because I'm furniture, but I will comply with it if it's in order. Because that is my duty.
That is a fucked mindset we need to get them out of.
Like ASAP.
Yes.
Okay, then I'll make it in order. From now on, if Battler-kun tries to touch you, counterattack with a slap. Alright, full power, give him no mercy. Beat him into the ground.
Kill
Yes,
this man.
as you command. That is what I will do from now on. Battler-sama, I hope you can keep this in mind.
So Shannon-chan declared, bowing elegantly to me. Her facial expression was radiant. I gave her a thumbs up to signal, you got it.
6 years ago, you might have been mistaken for a servant's daughter who just came in to lend a hand sometimes. But now, you're a full-fledged adult servant. How many years has it been?
Well, I've had the pleasure of serving this household for about 10 years.
She's Shannon. The kanji for her name are read as Shannon. This is another far from typical name for a Japanese person. Being a kid back in those days, I had taken in her name without paying it much attention. For her to be something called like that is pretty unusual, given that she isn't a member of the Ushiromiya family. Maybe it's like a servant's professional name or something. If so, I can kind of understand why Kanon's name sounds like that, too. She's a long-term servant who served here since she was 6. Since her body has changed radically, she didn't really match my memories, but we used to know each other 6 years ago. It looked like she was just as shy as she had been in the past, but I got the sense that she had become imbued with the charm befitting a girl for her age.
We're just gonna skip that part.
Yeah.
What part? I don't know what you mean.
Yeah,
That kid we met earlier, Kanon-kun, is her little brother.
He's not exactly my little brother. Still, he loves me like a big sister. He didn't cause you any trouble, did he? He's the same as always. It's such a shame that he doesn't act just a bit more sociable. It seems Kanon-kun has caused trouble. I apologize.
He didn't cause any trouble at all. As a fellow man, I understand how moody you can get at that age. It's no surprise that he's unsociable.
I get called all that time. Oh, called that all the time too. Get called unsociable, like Kanon.
No, that's because you're a creepy child.
Maria-sama, you're not so unsociable at all. It was nice to be like him.
You said the meal was ready, right?
Yes. My apologies. The preparations for your meal have been carried out, so I shall be guiding you all to the mansion.
Shannon bowed again formally and returned to her duty mode. We realized that if we made her stick around for any more light conversation, it would actually make it harder for her to do her job. So we got up off our butts to avoid interfering with her work any further. Shall we go to the mansion then? You're all probably starting to get hungry as well, right?
Sure am. I always look forward to meals when Goda-san's here cooking. That guy, he seems he was a chef at this famous hotel, so he's super good at it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Let's go, Maria. We're gonna stuff ourselves like pigs.
Stuff ourselves like pigs.
No. You can't just take everything Battler says seriously, okay? Because it's all jokes. Come on, let's go. Get away from him.
He's a bad influence.
Under Shannon-chan's guidance, we headed towards the mansion. If it wasn't for the fact we were rich, he would, be in jail.
Absolutely.
It's nice that they're starting off on, levity, because, knowing the author, this is gonna get fucked up really fast.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no, considering the clips I've seen are pretty fucked up.
Having finished this episode, yeah. It's gonna be interesting seeing like y'all's reaction to what I know is coming. Because met once again by the magnificent rose garden, we continued onward as it came into view. The imposing mansion of the goddamn fucking piece of shit Discord.
Yeah. I wish I could turn up the stream, but I'm not sure like what's causing my mic to trigger. Is it like background noise or just
Might just be like could be either.
I mean, I'm not hearing anything from your end. When
Yeah,
your
like
mic's
it's just
being
like
triggered.
flickering a bit on screen, but it's not doing anything really.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm worrying about nothing as usual.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
The imposing mansion of the Ushiromiya main family. It had apparently been built shortly after the war, so you could feel the dignity of almost half a century hanging about it. On the surface, the building was gorgeous, but being as old as it was seemingly lacking in modern amenities like air conditioning. According to Jessica, midwinter was especially tough, what with all the drafts. Well, it's not like they couldn't just take the Kotatsu out.
We're all in agreement that we know what that is, right? We don't need to go look at the.
Oh, yeah,
dictionary.
Kotatsu. A kotatsu is a table heater hybrid, often used as an inexpensive way to keep warm in Japan during the cold months. It consists of a low-height table frame designed for use.
Ace, I will stab you in the throat.
As we entered the entrance hall, an aged servant greeted us. Now him, I remembered. As the most senior member of the staff, Genji-san served as the head of the servants. Battler. Oh, wait, that's you.
Sama.
Yeah.
Battler-sama. We have not met in a long time.
As our eyes met, he saluted us with a composed voice. He didn't give quite as refined a bow as Goda's, but it was a bow that had feeling, even if it wasn't polished to the same degree.
Genji-san, it's been absolute ages. You look well. Thank you. Oh, fuck.
Opposite ends of the
Thank
spectrum.
Yeah, one's my regular voice, and one's my voice down like 2 octaves.
Thank you. I
Thank
have been
you.
quite well. Like, oh,
Thank you,
that
I've
does
been
feel
quite
weird to
well.
drop. Like you have to like shift your throat into a gear down there, like where it's
Yep.
below your ribs.
Yep, just fucking go, dude. And you, Battler-sama. I see you've become a splendid young man yourself. I would even say you've grown to somewhat resemble the master during his youth. I'm looking like grandfather? I guess that means grandfather was pretty popular when he was young. From here on, I shall take Shannon's place and accompany you. Please, come this way.
Shannon-chan bowed deeply and saw us off. Leaving the entrance hall, we headed to the dining hall under Genji-san's guidance. Genji-san, just like Kumasawa-san, stood in stark contrast to us young people who had grown beyond recognition over the last 6 years. His figure was exactly the same as in my memories of 6 years ago. It seemed like time had stopped since we last met. Genji-san was a silent and diligent person. He was like grandfather's closest aide or caregiver. In fact, you could even go so far as to say he was grandfather's right-hand man. Actually, it seems that he was by my grandfather's side more than my late grandmother was. According to Jessica, grandfather trusts him more than any of his blood relatives. But I wonder how long he served. I've never asked for the details, but I've heard he's been here since the beginning, when the mansion was construction. The mansion was construction. I can speak, I swear.
Good job, Case.
Mhm.
That is to say, he's dedicated half his life to serving here. No wonder grandfather trusts him. As we cut through the open-ceilinged hall behind Genji-san, I found something I had no memory of from 6 years ago.
And there she is.
Mm-hmm. It was an awfully big portrait, hung right in front of the stairs that rose to the second floor. Without thinking, I stopped walking, under its spell. Since I'd suddenly stopped, Maria, who was following behind me, ran into my... Ow! Oh, God,
That sounded like it hurt.
Oh, God, that hurts! Oh, my face!
See, I thought he was doing a little bit of a bit, but...
Oh,
Oops.
fuck!
Case's eye just went through his nose.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
see, I don't usually do big sneezes. I usually do like the small, like, chew, 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 chew. No, so when I get big ones, it tears through me like a shotgun. Oh!
I got one like that. I got one like that yesterday, but it was all internal, so I sneezed and it just like felt like I was shot in the middle of the face.
Mm.
Right, now I feel like I'm lucky one with my sneezes.
Sorry, that wasn't a bit at all. That was just me dying.
Oh yeah, sound by the way.
Shut up. I'm dying here. I'm allowed to let your sound break. Right, where was I? Maria, who was following behind me, ran into my back.
Ah, sorry. Hey, Jessica. Did that picture used to be there?
I pointed at the large and conspicuous portrait hanging in the hall. Everyone else stopped too.
Right. When you last came here, that hadn't been hung yet, had it? When was it again?
I think, if my memory doesn't fail me, it was around the year before last.
You are correct. In April of the year before last, the master had this painting put on display, which he had instructed an artist to paint for him some time prior.
Right, that's you.
Grandfather did that. So he went out of his way to have it drawn. Painted, but yeah.
The portrait depicted a woman in an elegant dress, who gave off a sense of refinement and seemed to suit the Western style of this mansion. I couldn't have guessed her age, but the sharpness and obvious strength of will in her eyes gave me the impression of youth. It was a different feeling than the composed mood of middle-aged women that are often in famous pictures. If this woman had normal black hair, I might have thought it was a portrait of my long-deceased grandmother in her prime. However, the woman in the portrait had beautiful golden hair and didn't look Japanese at all.
Motherfucker, your hair is maroon.
So, I'm about to say that. For the sake of
So-
characterization and like telling the people apart,
Yeah.
they have different designs in hair and shit, because I mentioned this to some people when I got to here, how that line came up right after Jessica pops up with her blonde hair. In canon, everyone else has just got like black hair normally. This is just like character design stuff so we can tell apart.
No, I know it's an anime thing, but like,
Yeah. Go on.
so who is she then? This woman?
As though trying to show off her knowledge, Maria answered that simple question with authority.
I know. Beatrice.
Be a what?
Beatrice. She's the witch. Didn't you hear about her long ago?
The witch? You mean of this island? Cersei?
Nah,
Calypso even?
Cersei and Calypso are a bit too Mediterranean for this.
Oh shoot, I'm getting a call. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Take this minute to like sip your drinks and shit. Take a small break and let's see. Alright. I think I already said this, but Rokkenjima is a small island that's only about 10 kilometers around. However, considering that only us, the Ushiromiya family, lives here, that's quite large. So only a harbor and the site around the mansion was set up to be lived in. Beyond that, the island remained as untouched as it was when it was still uninhabited.
I am really hoping that flipping up the mic actually muted me.
We didn't hear anything, so...
It did.
Okay, good, good.
To
Swear
understand...
I'm
Yeah.
family secretariat sometimes.
Everything alright, or...
Yeah, it's just one of my brother's friends called on through Snapchat.
Gotcha.
Mm.
To understand just how dangerous a vast and empty forest with no lamplight, phones, or people passing through actually is, you need to shift your urban assumptions a little. You see, if by chance you fell down a hole in the depths of the forest and sprained your ankle, cry or scream, no one would come save you. If it then got dark, the forests where there are no streetlights would become enshrouded in complete darkness. And since there obviously aren't any guideposts there, it's easy to get lost and lose your sense of direction in the dark forest. Nowadays, most people see a forest as a peaceful place, but to the people of bygone eras, before the light of civilization drove out the night, forests were like oceans on land, geographically separating one culture from another. Just as fishermen who go out into the ocean occasionally have their lives put in danger despite their technical knowledge, technical knowledge was also demanded of hunters who went out into the forest, and their lives were occasionally put in danger just the same. If a child were to go play in that dangerous forest, something terrible might happen. Some parents must have had that thought. Maybe my grandmother, or possibly the man himself, my grandfather, might have said it. Or maybe it was a story handed down on this island from long ago. There's a terrible witch in that forest. You must not go in. Thus, Rokkenjima's ghost story was born. That is the legend of the Witch of Rokkenjima. So, when we say the witch on the island, we're referring to the master of the vast and savage forest.
Sound?
Ah. Which reminds me, when I was little and stayed at this mansion, during the eerie nights when the wind and rain struck the windows, stories like the Witch of the Forest is roaming around in search of a sacrifice would scare the heck out of me. Beatrice, huh? As I searched my memory, prompted by George, I did vaguely remember being told that was her name when I was very small.
Right. Still, I completely forgot the witch of that legend had an elegant name like Beatrice. God damn, don't tell me grandfather went out of his way to have her depicted in this painting just because his grandkids... Yeah, just because his grandchildren refused to believe him.
It's the witch from Grandfather's Delusions. Ever since he had this picture hung up, he's been losing the distinction between fantasy and reality. To us, it's no more than the witch from his imagination. But to Grandfather, she's a being who exists on this island. Exists. That's why he says he had that picture painted, so that we'd understand. Creeps the hell out of me.
Milady, to the master, this is an important portrait. I must request strongly that you do not say such a thing in front of him.
I know that. You couldn't get me to say it, even if you begged me.
Jessica turned away after glaring a second at the portrait. Let's go. We're making everyone wait in the dining hall.
Oh, hungry.
Only a small portion of this island is controlled by the Ushiromiya family. If all of the wild remainder was the witch Beatrice's domain, then one could say she was the being who actually ruled over Rokkenjima. That unsettling, ominous feeling I had felt on the boat trip, when I learned that the shrine had been struck by lightning, revived within me a bit. At the time, Kumasawa-san had tried to tell an ominous story about Rokkenjima, and had been stopped by Jessica. I don't know what she had been trying to tell us about the island, but there was one thing I did know. Rokkenjima's ruler was not the Ushiromiya family. It was the witch Beatrice. Yes. Because this was the Witch's Island.
Battler! No!
Slow ass bitch. When I looked around, everyone was already heading towards the dining hall. I hurriedly chased after them. We walked up to the huge double doors that led to the dining hall. Genji-san knocked.
I have brought the children. If you will excuse me.
The door was opened, and we were invited inside. The dining hall, which screamed filthy rich, featured a super long table, which was obviously designed with no other purpose than to make the guests feel conscious of their rank. And our parents were already seated at it in accordance with that ordering. You're late, brats. Hurry up and take your seats. The old bastard pressed us to sit. Only the places where we would sit were empty on the long table, which only made us feel our tardiness all the more. The seat at the very head of the table, which you might call the seat of honor, was the most highly ranked and reserved for grandfather. It was still empty. He was probably planning to come in last to make himself look important. The seating order, if you faced the seat of honor, went from left to right in rows of 2, with the ranking be lower the further you were removed from it. So, on the left-hand side of the row closest to the seat of honor was the second-ranked seat, belonging to the eldest of the adult siblings, Uncle Kraus. It looked like he hadn't arrived yet either, so that seat was still empty. Sorry, Soundwave.
Son of a bitch.
Oops.
You'll get to see this motherfucker soon, I swear. At the opposite, and then opposite to him, on the right-hand side of the first row, sat the eldest daughter of the family, Auntie Ava, ranked at number 3. Left-hand side of the second row was for number 4. There sat the old bastard Rudolph as the third of the siblings. Opposite him sat number 5, the youngest sibling, Auntie Rosa. Going like this, you might think that the next ones to come would be their husbands and wives, but guess again, because the left-hand seat in the following third row, meaning rank number 6, was actually Jessica's seat. Opposite hers was George Aniki's. Then the seat next to Jessica was me, and opposite me was Maria. I will fucking break Discord, I swear to God.
Best of luck to you.
And next to me on the left-hand side of the fifth row, all the way down at number 10, finally came Aunt Natsuhi. Opposite her was Uncle Hideyoshi, and next to Aunt Natsuhi, in the sixth and final row on the left-hand side, was Kirie-san. The seat opposite to Kirie-san had been laid out like the others, but was empty. According to the ranking system, that spot was the seat where Auntie Rosa's husband should be sitting. He hasn't come as far as I know, yet the table has been laid for his seat. These kinds of ranking orders usually permit the spout a corresponding status, but the Ushiromiya family had its own original kind of ranking. Maybe it was leftover from male chauvinism. Under the notion that a mother's womb is only a temporary house for the child, and she contributes no genes. The children of direct descent would have the highest ranking, following by the grandchildren. Meaning that the spouses with no blood ties would be considered last in line. It's terrible. But according to that ranking order, grandmother, if she was still alive, would be in a position even lower than mine. Hi, TKJ, how's it going? My throat is still getting dry.
They're bringing up something actually pretty interesting, because this is a real thing. That was a thing that was believed in, actually, quite a bit in Japan and also Europe for a bit.
Oh?
The fact that the idea that the woman had no control, had no bearing on the child that was born, beyond being the mother.
Okay.
There's a reason why it's called siring. Actually, it's part of the reason why you use the word sire.
Oh,
Because that's just whole anthropology lesson that I'm not prepared to give because I don't actually know much about it.
you sure?
I know enough to be able to give that little tidbit, but yeah,
Okay.
that's basically all I knew.
Mhm. In youth, obey your father. After marriage, your husband. After aging, your children. A leftover of the times when they used to say, woman, no home in 3 worlds. Long ago, when I was still incapable of figuring all this out, I thought it was so great that we could all chat with the adult siblings sitting in their group and us cousins in ours. However, now that I can re-examine the seating order after growing up a bit, it stirs up some very complicated feelings in me. Aunt Natsuhi, married to the eldest son of the family, responsible for managing the household and number 2 for all practical intents and purposes, sat to my right, which means that she was 2 steps to me lower in the ranking order. It was difficult to guess what was going on through her head. That's why I made a small apologetic gesture before sitting down. How nice to see you, Battler-kun. You've grown quite tall, haven't you?
Yeah. Normal life, food, meals, eating. Then suddenly I was this tall. Also the steroids.
Boys do grow fast, don't they? How tall are you?
About 180 centimeters. No, wait. You missed your moment. You're supposed to...
Food, meal. Oh, okay. I missed that too. I used to eat.
You're supposed to jump in and say,
Fuck.
Son of a bitch, Case.
Fuck. Sorry. We are not coordinated in the slightest here. I am steering this boat without a wheel.
If anything, the scuff is the standard at this point.
You're supposed to jump in with, did you do anything besides eat?
Huh? Ah. I'm sorry. After a moment, she gave a small laugh, but it seemed she couldn't quite figure out what she was supposed to be laughing at. This woman is Aunt Natsuhi. She's the wife of the eldest son of the family, meaning she's Dad's older brother's wife. I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin's former roommate. What does that make us? Absolutely nothing. Is it easier to get it if I call her Jessica's mother? It feels bad when I say this, but not that I hated her, I don't particularly like her. She never got into our kid circle and only made my only impression of her was as someone who always talked about complicated stuff with my parents while having a crabby expression on her face.
Sound.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Discord. Come on. Come on. The fact is that having barely ever exchanged words, I hesitated a lot, even just now, about how to approach her. And it was pretty much a flop. The silverware had been tidily set up on the table, but the meal itself hadn't been brought in. As a rule, the meal doesn't start until the man at the head of the table has taken a seat. So, as long as grandfather, the highest ranked, didn't come, lunch would indefinitely be on hold. Not even the appetizers would come. In other words, this silence in the dining hall was the sound of our parents as they withstood their hunger and waited on tenter hooks for grandfather to come. Except the grandfather I remembered always showed up at the right time when we ate together like this. He wouldn't have been so late as to have everyone else waiting on him.
Grandfather's pretty late. As far as I can remember, he was always strict about staying on time.
Well, maybe 6 years ago, yeah. But not lately. Seriously, he's off in his own little world now. He doesn't even show up at family meals. I figured he'd at least stick around for today's meal, though. That said, if he doesn't turn up, I'll be a hell of a lot more relaxed and happier to boot.
Jessica. After being scolded by her mother, Jessica faced the other way, sticking her tongue out. No way around it. Nothing to do but wait for the host to arrive. When I glanced at the clock, I saw that it was almost 20 minutes past 12. Scene change, and this is when the ad break is gonna have to start because Twitch is about to force it on us. So I'm going to run to the restroom while that's happening.
Alright, I will also be back.
Alright.
Meanwhile, I'm just fine, so I'll be sticking around.
We'll be back in a moment, people who aren't hit by ads. I am back. Hello.
Welcome back.
I got like 30 seconds for the ad break to come back, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the old bastard head of the family, Kinzo. He killed my voice last time I did it, so
Oof.
it's gonna be
My condolences.
fun. That's one way to say it. It's gonna be fun. Sure. Is Soundwave back yet?
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
Alright. Because this is where we're gonna get introduced to Kraus, so... Yeah, so he's probably gonna be happy when he can finally speak up again for longer than like a minute.
Yeah.
Or do a voice that isn't just Battler.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Alright. Ready to go?
Yep.
The aged master of the Ushiromiya head house, Ushiromiya Kinzo. He was there in his study. The clock showed noon, but he didn't even attempt to get up. With reading glasses on his face, no, fuck! With reading glasses on his face, I forgot I need to click out if I want to put on my glasses. Glasses on his face, he stacked up old-fashioned books with elaborately designed bindings, one on top of the other beside him, immersing himself in their reading.
Just 1 second.
It didn't look as though it was for his leisure. On the contrary, he exuded impatience, crisis, as though every minute, every second were precious. The sealed room was dense with dancing dust particles, and the air stagnated with a mix of smells and various elixirs, each giving off its own suspicious stench. They were somehow sweet and heavy. For anyone with a good nose, the first thing they'd do after entering would be to open a window and ventilate the room. The knocking against his study door had been going on for a while. A voice calling "Father" mingled with the knocks. As Kinzo heaved a deep sigh, he snapped shut the old book he had in his hands and slammed it onto the table. Then he yelled at Kraus, who was continuing to knock at the door.
Nope.
Silence! Will you not stop that noise? Fool! Fuck!
Could be in character, I'm just saying.
Was it like knocking sounds or...
But no.
okay, but...
Oops.
Who taught you that doors shall be opened upon you if you knock? They crucified that imbecile! Do you wish the same upon yourself? That's a fucking line! Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Soundwave, you're up.
Anyways.
Soundwave?
Father. Today is the day of the family conference. It comes just once a year. Everyone has gathered downstairs. Please, come out.
Kraus called to his father through the door. Kinzo always shut himself up in the study and hated letting even his family into the room. For that reason, Kraus had no choice but to call out thus from the corridor. Molest me not! Everyone! Who is everyone? You keep referring to the fools who try to drag me out of here. Then kill them all! Chop them up, make them into firewood, feed them to the witch's hearth. Put a pot in that hearth and boil wormwood. And if there still remains imbeciles who wish and dare enough to lure me out of here, force them to drink that broth of the apocalypse. Preserve the remainder in liquor. Genji! Where are you? Call for Genji! Have my demonic absinthe prepared. The whispering of the green fairy reaches me no longer. Where is Genji? Call for Genji! Before the door, Kraus, Nanjo, and Genji kept waiting for the master of the house, who would not come out.
Looks like he hates me to his core. My voice does not reach him anymore.
Kraus shrugged his shoulders as if to say, "It's no use," then smiled bitterly. He himself hadn't believed for a moment that his father would answer his calls. However, as it was his duty as the eldest son, he had formally made the request. Hold on. Pop out, no, not pop out activity feed. I need, manage requests. Let's,
Say the line, Case.
refund that.
Say the line, Case.
Nah,
I
let's
was right. It
Nah.
was absinthe.
You weren't right that said it was absinthe. It was Malix that said it was absinthe.
I was the one that said it was absinthe. Malix confirmed it was absinthe.
Okay, but that doesn't make you right. That was a guess, not anything like actually based off fact. You're just like, I don't know either. That doesn't make you right. That just makes you correct in the moment.
The only other green liquor is Midori, and no one's drinking straight Midori.
I don't know. This motherfucker's crazy. Let's be real.
Say the line, Case.
No, I don't have to. I refunded your points.
Motherfucker. Kinzo-san, your sons, daughters, and grandchildren have come to see you, you know? Gotta chew my words a little bit. How about you show your face just a little bit? Yes.
Shut up! Be silent!
You really
You
don't need
dare
to go that
admonish
hard,
me,
Case.
Nanjo! I do not call for you. I said to call for Genji. Now hurry and call for him this instant. Time is
You're
short.
gonna hurt yourself.
The apostles are already readying their trumpets. Why do you not understand this, you foolish sheep? Kinzo slammed the old heavy book into the table over and over. I don't have an old heavy book. I could probably grab my bound Berserk copy and have that work. Hold on.
That sounds like it'd be hard on the... Why not use, like, Fallout Equestria? Have a little more respect for your books.
Here we go. H.P. Lovecraft, The Complete Collection.
That works.
Yeah. Almost thematically appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like a... I didn't even slam it down that time. That was just me putting the book down. That's his own weight.
That could work.
The racket obviously indicated his the highest displeasure. Kinzo put his spectacles down. Let's click out this time. There we go. There we go.
Sound.
And flew up from his chair. He spread his arms wide open as if to sing to a packed opera house, as if of appealing someone and yelled, "Oh god, I gotta stand up for this shit. Oh god. Why? Why is there always something in my way? I would throw it all away. I would offer up everything, and there was only one thing I ask in repayment. Oh, Beatrice! I could just see your smile one last time. I would plunder the smiles of the earth and offer them all up to you. Fuck my... Oh, commanders of the Locust Legions, reap the smiles of the earth. Ah, all of it is filthy. All is irksome. Why must I suffer the impediment on this most precious of days? Cough. Cough, Genji. Okay, that's enough.
I have no idea what he's yelling. I guess he's finally gone nuts.
Well, son, isn't it a bit harsh to your birth father?
My dad is already dead. All there is the phantom of what he was, of what, the fucking bit. Oh, God. All there is a phantom of what he once was. At any rate, as long as he lacks the will to leave that room, there's nothing we can do.
Kinzo-san.
Choking coughs continued to pour from the study.
I'm going back downstairs. It would be a waste to let that lunch go to so proud of get any colder. It's one of the few things the others have to look forward to here. See, now I chose this voice on the spot. I could have gone with my poor impression of Trump due to his looks, but I'm not going to.
Are you sure? Because he's what? Oh, he's not popped up on the character tab. Never mind.
Ah.
Kyle spun on his heels. He looked at his wristwatch, mumbling and acting as though he had wasted time doing something he already knew would be in vain.
Genji-san, father is calling for you. Keep him company. You know what sleazeball works.
Certainly.
Dr. Nanjo, let's go eat.
Dr. Nanjo, shall we go? Yeah, pizza pasta, pepperoni.
You. If we stay here any longer, even our sense of taste will go insane from this sweet smell. It's definitely mercury.
Yeah?
So mercury has a sweet smell to it. That they used to actually put it in food. But like that sweet smell is definitely mercury or some other poison.
Okay. Without waiting for Nanjo, Kraus went downstairs. Genji urged Nanjo to go and eat. Nanjo looked at first to Kraus's back as he disappeared down the stairs, then to the study door, and he let out a deep sigh.
Sorry, Genji-san. Please.
Yes, please, leave it to me. This is my personal hell.
If possible, don't give him alcohol.
You chose both those voices.
It's too powerful a habit.
Is Genji
you,
not
man.
here yet? Who dares keep Genji from coming? Ah, where is Genji? Call for Genji! Oh.
No.
Fuck. That-
Damn it, Case.
I was trying to let that fit,
No.
like, click to...
Please, leave it to me.
I was trying to click to let it, like, finish the whole line, not...
Sorry. Sorry.
Nanjo gave a small duck of his head and descended the stairs. Genji saw him off and knocked at the door.
My lord. It is Genji.
Genji! Why must you make me wait for so long? There is no one there, I trust.
Yes, I am alone.
Kinzo returned to his seat in the study and pressed an old-fashioned switch on the table. After a small delay, the heavy sound of the door unlocking could be heard.
Sound.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I always have to take a second to make sure I'm hearing things right.
Kinzo believed that his family might try to break into his study. Perhaps someone once opened a window for some air and scattered some important documents or something. And that had made him very pissed off. Now, Kinzo had placed a secure lock in his room, making it so that without his permission, nobody could enter, and locking himself in the dungeon he himself created. Genji, who he trusted the most, was relatively free to enter the room, but even that was not absolute. If Kinzo was in a bad mood, even he wouldn't be able to enter. And anybody else would be limited to holding a conversation through the door, not even seeing his face. And most of the time, they wouldn't even get a real conversation. However, that didn't pose any particular problem for the family. That was because they had no reason to go out of their way to interfere with the retirement of the cantankerous and aged head. The fact
So in this context, it's actually pronounced aged.
Cantankerous and aged head. The fact that he was completely immersed in his odd research and always locked up in his hideaway was something of a benefit, actually. They made the most of his refusal to leave the study, entrusting him to the hands of the servants, while they kept themselves their distance. Fuck.
Good job, Case.
Oh, shut up. Genji, my usual. I'm busy.
Yes.
Genji headed to a corner of the study. There, suspicious-looking bottles boasting venomous colors were on display. They were actually liquor, but considering they were placed in this shady-looking room, you could almost suspect that they might be ghastly poisons.
Technically speaking, they are.
The inside of the study was filled with the mountainous library of outlandish books Kinzo had amassed. They were bizarre old books, some banned, and each and every one of them either forbidden, cursed, or sealed. Of course, if one would actually call them old books, Kinzo would fly into a rage and say something like this. Call them grimoires! There were candles which had melted in a suspicious-looking fashion and had taken on peculiar forms, and all manner of other strange objects, probably having something to do with black magic. The constellations covering the celestial globe might have caused anyone who knew the night sky well to raise an eyebrow. The illustrations inscribed in old books haphazardly left open ranged from the religious and mystical to demonic and grotesque, as well as bizarre diagrams of various magical circles. And above all else, the sweet, poisonous smell that filled the room, which to those entering for the first time would surely be a profound assault on their sense of sight, smell, and all their other senses, making them lose grip on reality. Inside that study, Genji, with his well-trained hand, prepared Kinzo's usual drink. If you didn't know that ghastly dark green liquid was filled the complexly designed bottle was liquor, you certainly wouldn't want to put it in your mouth. He poured a small quantity of the spirit into the glass, placed the cube of sugar in the strangely shaped spoon, and then poured water from a pitcher over it. Strangely, when the colorless water was poured into it, the dark green liquid turned a cloudy white. It created a strange visual illusion that the water had caused a chemical reaction, which made it all the more difficult to perceive the concoction as liquor. To this, he added an original flavoring that Kinzo liked and fine-tuned the taste. There was no recipe. Its success was measured only by Kinzo's mood swing when he drank it, and how he had learned how to make it only after many decades. Genji placed the glass on a tray and made his way over to Kinzo. Kinzo was now gazing out a window.
As you asked, my lord.
Thank you. Kinzo had regained his composure, so much so that he was now unrecognizable as the man who had been shouting, screaming, and yelling just moments before. In that man's back dwelt dignity and intelligence, made plain simply by how he tilted his glass and gazed down at the scenery beyond the window. Genji, in order to allow Kinzo to set down his glass at any time, motionlessly waited behind and to his left, as though he were a living sideboard. As he did, Kinzo stuck out the glass, his gaze still directed at the world outside the window. There was just a mouthful remaining. It was not a gesture intended to set upon the tray, as Genji expected, but was a motion to hand the glass over to Genji. Drink it, my friend.
This is more than I deserve.
No need for ceremony between us. Drink it, friend.
Thank you, Sound.
I'm gonna fight Discord myself. Swear to God. Genji respectfully received the glass and inclined it to a little to taste the contents. Then he downed it in one gulp. I attempted to imitate your concoction, but no matter how hard I try, I cannot replicate the taste. The way you make it is pure relish.
Thank you very much. It is the fruit of your guidance, my lord.
Kinzo smiled at his loyal subject, who refused to put aside rank even when asked to. However, he was not making fun of him. It was relaxed, like a smile at a close friend's unriddable bad habit. We have grown old, you and I. I forgot my age a long time ago.
That I was permitted to live the life I have until today has all been thanks to you, my lord.
Kinzo gave a thin smile, as if to say he didn't need the compliments. You have served me well, exceedingly well these years. My sons call me eccentric. The servants that were once many, all of them, retiring in their growing fear of me. Only you, even now, serve me.
That is more than I deserve.
I doubt I have much time left. My sons are vultures, lazily waiting for my inheritance to fall into their hands. That fool Kraus squanders money like water, throwing away 2 old coins to obtain 1. With that, he deludes himself into saying that he earned money. Anybody's a slave to money, thinking of me as a hen or whatnot. And when I die, she'll even use my carcass to make broth. That dunce Rudolph just wants to fool around with women. Rosa bore the baby of a nobody. Jessica's incompetent and illiterate. George has none of what it takes to be a man. Battler is a fool who threw away the honor of the Ushiromiya family. And Maria is obscene to the eye. Why? Why is the Ushiromiya blood so incompetent? Is there anyone worthy to inherit the glory I built? Of course, I know. This is Beatrice's curse. I know it. Golden Witch, is this supposed to be your revenge against me? Hate me if you wish. Run away if you wish. I won't let you go. I won't let you go. Won't let you go. You are mine. You cannot be anywhere but my arms. You are my entire life. You'll continue to whisper for all eternity in my birdcage to me. Only to me. Beatrice. Why won't you give me back your smile? Beatrice. Ow. Give me a minute to recover.
That's why we have the tea.
of which I'm almost out.
And also, that's why we have to do warm-ups, which, Emily, I'm being hypocritical about it.
Nah, it's totally
I did
fine.
warm-ups.
Nah, I'll be fine. Warm-ups? Nah, who needs that? We're not professionals.
I was fully in another stream for an hour before I got here.
What the fuck were you streaming?
Deep Rock Galactic, a friend had me come in as a fourth.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. After howling, Kinzo choked once again. Genji sat the tray and the glass down and patted his master's back. Genji's facial expression did not change. It was always like this. Fuck. Thank you, my friend. After his almost deranged outbursts of the past few minutes settled down, Kinzo regained his composure once more. The way his attitude changed was like seeing two different people, a wild Kinzo and a composed Kinzo, living together inside one body. And so, I have decided. I cannot stand spending the insipid remainder of my life procrastinating like this. If I have any final coins left to gamble, then I choose to abandon them all to the whims of the demon's roulette.
Sound.
Motherfucker, I just fixed it!
No, it's a good thing you didn't break while you were yelling.
The power of magic is always determined by the risk staked upon it. Like visiting a shrine at the Hour of the Ox in an ancient Japanese sorcery to nail a cursed doll in the tree. Magic power dwells in this, incurring the risk that it will be seen before the 7 days pass. The more dangerous the risk, the stronger the magic power will be. All the various miracles that appear in myth can be called crystals of astonishing magical power, obtained through miraculously low probabilities and astronomical risk. That Moses parted the sea was no miracle of gods. It was that utterly desperate risk, weighed upon the scales of oppression, of being cornered by soldiers at the Red Sea shores, which gave birth to miraculous magic power. Even if the same thing occurs again on the same scope, the sea will no doubt not part. That is because Moses managed to spectacularly draw out the single miracle carved in the roulette of those in power, which has more pockets than Asogi, and it's 10 to the 56th and 10 to the 60th multiplied together. The power to triumph over astronomical odds. Yes, magical power, in other words, having the luck to grasp for miracles. To obtain great magical power, one must bear the risk that is hopelessly great. Those who possess no magic would call it not a bet, but pure desperation. However, those who do possess magical power can grasp hold of that miracle and make the enigma come into being. And if that power exists within me, I will seize that miracle. I will be able to make that the wish I devoted my life toward come true. Kinzo looked to the sky outside the window. He spread his arms as if appealing to someone in the skies. And if I were to have what it takes to obtain that miracle... Oh! Beatrice! Beatrice! Show me that lovely smile once more! No matter how much time passes, your face does not vanish. I just want to see your smile. That is all. I'll return everything you granted to me. I'll return all the glory I've gained since that day. I don't need fortune, prestige, gold. I'll return everything you granted to me. I just want to see your smile. I beg of you, Beatrice! His nonsensical yells segued into a scream, and then a wail. Kinzo crumpled onto the floor and clawed at it with both hands. Genji had no choice but to wordlessly watch over his master's lament.
Man, what a freak.
Tell me about it.
Okay, thank God.
Ugh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the head of the family is not in his best shape. He considers it a great shame that he will not be able to partake in lunch with you all. You having assembled especially for this long-awaited yearly meeting.
It sounds like you're like a person or two away from just doing John Mulaney.
Yeah, I can't do John Mulaney. I was gonna do like, and then I said that to them, you know, like a liar. Goda, let the lunch begin.
Certainly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we shall begin today's luncheon.
Dr. Nanjo, is father's condition that bad? Surely he could have at least showed his face.
Rather than his physical condition, it is his mood. And for that, there's no medicine I can prescribe.
I can think of several.
Oh, come on. For God's sake, mood again. We come to hear how he's doing, making time in our schedules for this damn busy season of autumn. That's just...
Well then you got what you wanted, Rudolph. You managed to hear how he's doing. Or do you want to take my place and try to persuade our ill-humored father to come join us? This is not the right voice for those words, but it's way funnier doing it that way.
Are you kidding? Rudolph shrugged. Apparently, even though Rudolph seemed to resent the way his father did as he pleased, he'd rather avoid seeing his face if he could help it.
Does it seem like his mood will improve before dinner? Krausen.
I have no idea. You can try to ask father directly. Although I think his mood will improve faster if you don't bother him. Sound.
The only one who can bring grandfather's temper under control is Genji-san.
You know what? No, suffer. I'm actually pissed off at Discord at the moment. We'll see if it
Pretty damn
fixes
pathetic.
itself. We'll see if
It's
it...
not going to. It's just going to get worse. It always just gets worse.
Honestly, the
Oh, it's
audio
better.
could be muted and I'll still
Did
go
it
for
just
it.
get better? What was it? I was right, motherfucker.
Okay,
Anyways.
most of the time it just gets worse.
That sounds like a you problem.
It sounds like a you problem. Nope. And it's going back to being bad again.
Well, it'll get better again.
Let's just write it out.
Write it out,
Anyways,
see if it lasts.
so
It will.
No one can bring grandfather's temper under control as Genji-san. Pretty damn pathetic when you have to have a servant to deal with your own parents' bad mood.
Jessica, don't speak out of turn.
She'd planned
Wow.
for her complaint to only
What
be...
a dick.
She'd planned... Oh, trust me, he is absolutely a dick. Look at how he's dressed. Look at his
Hair alone.
face. She'd planned for her complaint to only be heard by her cousins, but it had reached even Krause's ears. Scolded, Jessica scowled and turned away, skulking.
His condition can't be that bad, can it? With that kind of temper? I mean, if they were saying he's not feeling well, that'd be one thing. But if his mood's that bad, at least it's proof that he's got some fight in him.
Well, grandfather does have especially strong willpower. But it doesn't mean that his body will always follow that. Since last year, they keep saying he has 3 months left. If the initial diagnosis is correct, grandfather's been prolonging his life by willpower alone. We have to be concerned for him.
I have a family member like that.
Yeah?
Old, ornery, won't die.
Why won't you fucking die? You say as you're shoving him into the ground? No! He's clawing his way back up.
She broke her hip 2 years ago, and she's still alive. She's in her 90s.
Jesus Christ!
Her husband died a year ago? 2 years ago? Around that time.
Ah.
Yeah.
Lunch started with the family's head seat still empty. The man who should have been sitting there was already old, and the brilliant glory which had rebuilt the Ushiromiya's family in a single lifetime was slowly being forgotten. Nobody seemed to feel uncomfortable when the meal began with that seat still empty. Umineko ni naku koro ni, rondo of the witch and reasoning. 1 hour later.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist! Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay, I think we're just extending the joke too far.
Nonsense, we gotta write it out until it stops being funny, and then like people get indoctrinated into liking it again.
Edward?
Edward.
What? The Ushiromiya Family Conference was held once every year. It took place on the first weekend of October. If a normal family were to use a pretentious name like Family Conference, you'd expect it to be nothing more than a reunion of rarely seen relatives who greet each other surrounded by buckets of sushi. However, in the Ushiromiya family, where the sons and siblings are lent great fortunes, and only those that achieve success in business are considered adults, it was literally a conference. How much of the fortune was invested? What kind of business was conducted? How much was earned? As a result, how much of the fortune borrowed from the main family could be repaid? Or alternatively, how much would be borrowed for future business ventures? What lessons had they learned, and what could they learn from their mistakes? It seems topics like these had been discussed very seriously in the past. My dad called it a bed of nails. Apparently, it used to be a very serious meeting, where one would commonly be showered with harsh and angry voices, and even get slapped in the face despite being well past the age for it. However, that was all a thing of the past. By now, everyone had achieved success in their own independent business ventures, and it was on the road to becoming a normal yearly get-together. They're all CEOs.
Yep.
Even so, being asked by grandfather about the current state of play was an extremely stress-inducing event. And while to us grandchildren, it was nothing more than a simple meeting, to our parents it was still a real stomachache. The absence of the man responsible for all this, whatever the reason behind it, must surely have made today's lunch even more delicious. The phrase, when the cat is away, the mice will come to play, comes to mind. Well then, let me introduce Jessica's father, whose face I haven't seen for 6 years. The man sitting to my dad's left is his older brother and the father of Jessica, Uncle Kraus.
Jessica?
What?
You said Jessica.
Jessica's uncle. Yes, the Jessica. This name is surely easy to read. Kraus. After so many weird names, it warps your sense of what's normal, and you start to think, hey, what's wrong with Kraus? It sounds pretty cool, actually. Just like with Aunt Natsuhi, I don't have many memories of speaking with Uncle Kraus. He had never been one to talk to children, and I feel like he was always talking with the adults, just like Aunt Natsuhi. From the way my dad talked about him, it seems he used to be a pretty spiteful and unreasonable person. If what Dad has said is true, he used to be very domineering as the oldest sibling. And he was hated by Auntie Ava, Auntie Rosa, and the rest of the family. Odd, considering they're all having fun chatting together. Well, I guess even if the relationship was bad when they were children, sometimes people grow up, and when they go their separate ways, their relationship changes. That's probably what this is. Everything's probably fine. After all, they all have children of about the same age. When they share similar family environments, they all probably profit by exchanging opinions. Maybe because of that, the parent circle had been in deep conversation for a while now, about the exams Jessica and I are going to be taking. Jessica, in order to escape the discussion of exams with the old bastard sitting on her left, was purposefully facing to the right, firing off topic after topic so as not to give him an opening. Moving on, let's look at the opposite end from Uncle Kraus and the others. At the very last seat of the table, an old gentleman with a sturdy physique, that's the kind of way of saying it, faced Kirie-san. This was my first time meeting him. I'd only just been introduced to him, but it seems that he's grandfather's personal doctor, a man named Nanjo. Apparently he used to own a huge clinic in the nearby Nijima Island, but he turned it over to his son and then began living a life of leisure in his old age. He's known grandfather since the very beginning, when the mansion was first constructed on the island, and they have a history going back several decades. I thought he might be grandfather's companion in his suspicious hobbies, but surprisingly, it seems that he's grandfather's chess partner. I see. That kind of hobby does seem very like our grandfather, with his love of Western style. You could probably also call him the only person able to enter Rokkenjima who is neither a family member nor a servant. From listening in on his conversation with the women folk seated next to him, he gave the impression of a calm old gentleman. Considering he's managed to put up with our short-tempered grandfather for so long, I'm sure his big heart is nothing to laugh at. Still, even if he is his doctor, having someone from outside the Ushiromiya family attending the family conference is a little odd. From that fact, I can imagine that grandfather's condition has grown much worse. And it might even be one of the major topics of discussion at the family conference. George and Nikki was saying it too. For the past year, grandfather has continually pronounced as having very little time left to live. It's awful to talk about, but grandfather is an extremely rich man. At the time of his death, his wealth will suddenly be released along with our parents' stomach acid, surely leading to some serious ulcers. With this kind of thing, the greater number of ways it may be split, the more trouble it will be caused splitting it. This kind of talk probably should also be included in the family conference. Oh well, not like it has anything to do with us children. Finally, even though he's absent, let me introduce our grandfather. Jesus Christ. We have to keep going? Okay. The person who should be sitting at the seat of the honor is Ushiromiya Kinzo. It really sucks. He gave everyone else in the family these weird names, but he himself uses one which is conservative as all hell. If only his name were written in the same characters for gold and vault, he could but let us call him a goldsmith or something. That would be totally awesome. We'd all get to suffer in this hell. I got a ping. Is that important or... No, that's just a fighting game at... Never mind. Hello?
Hello.
What was that pop?
Sorry?
It was like a squeak pop, like someone like popped
Oh,
champagne.
that's me flipping up on my mic to mute myself.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
For a second, it sounded like you were like popped out champagne to start drinking while I was going through all this because it was taking so long.
I wish. Are you kidding?
Okay, wow, I see. So that's how you feel about my narration.
Oh, come on. You know I'm giving you a hard time as usual.
Of course.
No, that's just how we feel about you, Case.
Fine.
Screw it.
I'll leave
I'll
then.
be hearing my drinking noises on stream.
Okay, let's back to this. As you can probably gather from all the talk about him, he's a frightening person with an extremely short temper. Oh, I know that. My throat's still, like, rough from that. Because I'm just his grandkid and haven't met him since I was in elementary school 6 years ago, I don't remember even having been beaten by him. I don't remember ever having been beaten by him, but it seems that our parents were raised with an iron fist. That earlier conversation between my dad and Uncle Kraus about who should go to try to convince grandfather to come out seems oddly funny if you take this into account. Oh, god damn it!
You know,
It
we're at a
just
good
keeps going.
stopping point.
Mm-hmm. That's...
In like 4 minutes, it'll be 3 hours. We could just like stop, have like a little bit of like a decompress.
Yeah. Like, will you want to play more later on, like later today, or do you think that's enough for now?
If we play more, I'd say do it tomorrow.
Okay.
or just wait until next week.
How are you feeling, Velvet?
I'm perfectly fine. It's like 10, almost 11 o'clock.
I don't want to kill Case's throat.
Hold on, let me black the screen for a second, check how long this is gonna take. Okay, yeah, that's a fair bit. Yeah, that's a fair bit. Yeah, let's
just save.
Yeah, I think we can call it there, and then if we're feeling up to it, do it tomorrow.
Yeah, we got 3 hours last time, so it's fine. That was just with the two of us.
Yeah, and my throat isn't completely shot this time.
Yeah, so
yeah,
thank you. By the way, you kind of saved both of our throats.
No problem. Least I can do.
The day after last time, I had this itch in the back of my throat.
Yeah, no, I've had that happen when I talk too long on calls or anything like that. So I feel
we need to find more people who are willing to put up with this shit, because like just to toss our voices some more.
So maybe give Tivo a poke, check if he's busy or not.
Maybe tomorrow if he's interested or something, but
probably get Pack. Tomorrow.
We actually probably could get Pack tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need a full cast. We just need more than 3.
Yeah, a full cast is asking a fair bit. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 people. Yeah.
Krause's voice is Krause and Battlers are obviously the easiest ones for me to do. The hard ones for me to do are actually the lower voices, because I don't know if you noticed, my voice sits higher than theirs by quite a bit.
Yep.
And then I have trouble just keeping my voices consistent.
Yeah.
Like Eva is easy because, pretty obvious.
The only one I can get consistent is Kinzo, because he's just fucking deranged screaming. And like, no matter how bad I twist while doing that, it gets deranged.
I mean, when you do those, like, O's, you just, sound like a horse.
Yeah. Yeah, but... Yeah, that's everyone on this thing filled out so far.
Mm.
And this is chapter 1. That's what her skirt looks like?
Yes. Oh! She's got like a Nero hole in it right there.
Yeah, that's just a... Man, Kinzo's got some weird taste.
Okay, but also, was it him, her, Shannon, Cannon, and Genji wear the bird, but Goda and Kumasawa don't.
Yeah.
And like, we can see that, like, was it the Hideyoshi, Natsuhi, the people who married into the family don't wear the bird, but the blood relatives do, but these 3 also do. So, why is that? And there's probably information in here we could probably put to use, like, when we're actually thinking about what's going on. Like, we heard about asthma before it was even brought up in the story. It's still not been brought up, but now we know that's a factor.
Yep.
Maria's, like, very interested in magic and shit. So if we're doing investigations and Kinzo's not, like, gonna keep himself locked up, she's probably gonna be our source of magic information.
Information about Maria was revealed very like 30 minutes, that her father's just like a regular dude.
Regular dude? No, her father's not even there. Was it?
Yeah,
like, like he's not even a factor. But yeah. But yeah, okay, so she runs a design company. He is... We don't fucking know. Ava, I think, helps out with Hideyoshi's...
it's a drug.
Yeah, restaurant chain.
Restaurant? I thought he was a drug company.
No, he's restaurants. And oh, Kinzo's real. Kraus is real estate. Fuck him. He's real estate, the
So
bastard.
So this voice is the best voice for him.
What does it sound? Well, what does he actually sound like? I don't remember.
He probably has a deeper voice, probably like a little more like snooty. You know, just slowly
You're
go
gonna have
up.
to scroll for a little bit.
そんなことは知らんよ。親父殿に直接聞いてみるといい。もっとも、声をかけない方が機嫌の治りは早いと思うがね。
No, the nasal isn't there. I was gonna say, is that fucking Dio?
おいおい機嫌ってまたかよ。そりゃないぜ。
体調というより
No, we reversed their voices.
Like, that's something.
Hey. You know, it's
That's
funny that
almost
way.
Funnier.
Yeah, that's funnier. Alright, but yeah. Let's call this a stopping point, and if we're feeling up to it tomorrow, yeah, we can keep going.
Yeah.
And keep Pack
Yeah.
caught up to speed with this then. So who to raid then? Let's send these people off with a raid.
See
Oh god, what did they
AKL.
yeah, I think AKL is still doing it, so
All right. Am I able to raid from the mod screen, or do I have to switch over to the actual stream?
I think I'm the one who sets the raid.
All right.
It's my
so
I can't let you just I don't think it's fair for like the stream to just let their mods immediately.
No. I mean like I mean like am I able to like go from the mod screen?
Oh,
and, like
I
as part
don't
of the
know.
raid?
I don't know.
No,
but
that's the wrong channel.
yeah, let's
Give me a moment. There's your stream.
I forget what do you got any like raid messages you want to shout out to AKL once we get there?
Probably nothing with the F word, which is what I was going to suggest. We could go with Kinzo messed
Kinzo
up.
down bad.
Kinzo's got weird taste. Raid.
The ultimate witch simp.
Which simp raid? Let's go.
Wait, which simp raid?
Which simp raid?
Okay, there we go. Alright. We will be back maybe tomorrow. I'll message something in the Discord or like Twitter or whatever if we are. But yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bye. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, there we go. There we
Nice
go.
one, Ryu.
Good job. I will see you all later next time. Bye.
Catch you.
Laters.